From Simmons Field in Kenosha, Wisconsin, the Rockford Rivets play Toot today against the Kenosha Kingfish, a home and road doubleheader to begin here in game number 1, starting at 12:05 Central Time between the Rivets and the Kingfish. The last time Rockford makes the trip up to Kenosha, and tonight the Kingfish will make their last trip to Rivet Stadium for game number 2. Rockford leads off with Johnny Butler playing the DH spot, Andrew Wilhite batting second and playing left field. Matt Higgins moves over to center field and bats third. Jake Vanderwall in his usual spot and right field bats fourth. Aaron Mann plays third base and bats fifth, riding a 5-game hitting streak. Caleb Durbin, playing his first game as a Rivet, is at short and batting sixth. Tom Josen behind him in the 7-hole batting and playing first base. Mason Menzie doing the catching, bats eighth, and Josh Dudden as the 9th-hole hitter today. He's hitless in his last 5, and he plays second base. Rivets off 5 straight losses, including a series sweep against them. A 4-3 loss to Kalamazoo yesterday in the 9th inning. Facing a guy they faced before in Keith Kutzler, the junior from Wisconsin Whitewater, native of Kenosha, on the mound for the Kingfish, a right-handed thrower at 6'4", 200. ERA of 4 even and a record of 2-4 for the Kenosha Kingfish this season. Kutzler has appeared once before against Rockford, started and went 4 2/3 innings and allowed just 2 runs, but lost the game. That was at Rivet Stadium on June 21st. This is his first home start since June the 25th, when he went 3 innings against Kalamazoo and allowed 2 runs. So his first time pitching at home in the month of July, and almost a month to the day for Kutzler. Facing Johnny Butler, leading things off for Rockford, the highest batting average on the team at .328. Left-handed batter, right-handed pitcher for this Wednesday afternoon affair at Kenosha, Wisconsin. 74 degrees at 12:05 Central Time. And from the windup, Keith Kutzler ready to go to Johnny Butler. He winds and fires away. And a fastball is high and outside for ball 1 to Johnny Butler.
12:05, 75 degrees.
Sunny skies entirely overhead, no clouds, no rain in the forecast. Right by the lake here in Kenosha. So a bit colder than it is in Rockford. Here's the 1-0 pitch. A half swing down the third base line and foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's a high of 84 degrees in Rockford today. In Kenosha, a high of 79. So the lake effect certainly there. It's been great baseball weather over the past few days in Rockford and here in Kenosha. Temperature has not really touched above the low 80s the last few days after a sweltering heat wave produced feels likes of over 100 for a few days straight. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Johnny Butler from Kutzler. And it's high and outside again. 2 balls and a strike to count. Butler from NC State. First 4 guys in Josh Kime's order, including the wraparound guy and Josh Dudden batting lefty. Rockford with 2 righties in their lineup and 7 who will bat left-handed. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Butler. Fastball is popped up behind second base to shallow right center field. Second baseman Boobin called off by Brendan Hewitt in center, and he makes the catch. And there's the first out of the ball game. 1 down, top of the first between Rockford and Kenosha. Defense for the Kingfish. Roberto Pena plays third base. Jake Cosgrove is at short. Mitchell Boobin at second base. Connor Mang is at first. And the outfield, Mike Jarvis, Brendan Hewitt, and Zachary Nagalski left to right. Drew Dyer doing the catching for Keith Kutzler, with Luke Stevenson, another catcher on this Kingfish roster, doing the DH duties today. Andrew Wilhite now bats against Kutzler with 1 out, top of the first. Wilhite playing in left field today. A freshman from Minnesota, batting .268 with 1 home run and 19 RBIs. Had a hit in yesterday's game and was robbed of a home run by the umpiring crew. A ball that was fair down the right field line was called foul at first base. Would have been back-to-back jacks in the 5th inning. First pitch to Wilhite's a fastball low and inside. 1 ball, no strikes. It was Andrew Gerard who made that call, the first base umpire yesterday. He's at home plate today calling the balls and strikes with Shea Graham at first. A 2-man umpiring crew today with Tom Crocker out of commission. Got injured in yesterday's contest back in Rockford. 1-0 pitch to Wilhite. Swing and a miss at a fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Wilhite appeared to bend a home run ball just inside the right field foul pole, but was called foul by the umpiring crew, and the first base umpire did not consult with his other umpires. Either did not or could not. Josh Kime was irate at the call. 1-1 pitch to Wilhite from Kutzler. Swinging a tapper down shallow to second base. Boobin waits on the hop and throws on to first sidearm for the 4-3 putout. Got Willite by a step, and there's 2 down to the first. That would have tied the game in the 5th inning. Instead, it was a 3-2 Growler lead. Rockford did tie it in the 6th, but the Growlers scored a run in the 9th and won 4-3. It was Rockford's relief pitcher, Adrian Santiago, who had a bases-loaded hit by pitch to score the game-winning run at the top of the 9th for Kalamazoo. A 4-3 Growler win, and so that that blown home run call looms large for Rockford. Here's Matt Higgins, left-handed batter for his pitch. Fastball is fouled away to the screen on a hop. No balls and a strike. Higgins batting .281 this season. Moves over to center field today. We've seen him there before. Left field is his primary position. By that I mean he plays there just about every single day for Rockford. The ball's and a strike with 2 out. Pitch to Higgins. And a fastball just off the outside corner, 0-2. For Higgins, this is just, I think, his maybe 2nd or 3rd time in center field. I mean, he really does not play center much at all. 1 ball, 1 strike to him. The pitch, swinging a foul back, 1-2. With Andrew Willite playing in left field today, Rockford switching up the defense for game number 1. It's usually Willite at 3rd base and Higgins at left. But now with Blake Burrows no longer on the roster manning center field, and Johnny Butler, who would be in that position playing in the DH spot, Willite moves back to left, which is his secondary position for Rockford. Here's a 1-2 pitch from Keith Kutzler on the way. Half swing, he did go around, ball in the outside corner, drop 3rd strike, throw on to first is in time from the catcher Drew Dyer, and that retires the side. A 1-2-3 inning for Keith Kutzler. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. After half an inning, there's no score. We go to the bottom of the 1st in Kenosha, Wisconsin at Simmons Field. Rockford making their final appearance here of the 2019 season. Kingfish lineup this way. The lineup's in just a moment. This scoreless game in the bottom half of the 1st. Mitchell Boobin leads off and plays second base for the Kingfish. Brendan Hewitt in center field bats second, the only left-handed batter today for the Fish. Mike Jarvis in left field bats 3rd. Luke Stevenson in DH spot bats 4th, with Roberto Pena behind him batting 5th and playing 3rd base. Zachary Nagalski plays right field, bats in the 6th hole. Connor Mang at first base is 7th. Jay Cosgrove at short is 8th, and Drew Dyer, the catcher, rounds things out. Hunter Kime is the Rockford pitcher today, making his 2nd start. He'll hope to have a better start than his only other one, which came in Wisconsin Rapids back on July the 11th. A 4-1 loss for his team, allowed 4 earned runs in the 1st inning, threw 52 pitches, and was over his pitch limit by a mile and a half. So after that 1st inning, Rockford allowed no runs the rest of the game and still lost 4-1. They could only scratch out 1 offensively. So Kime took that loss. He has a record of 0-2 and an ERA of 7.50. A whip of 2.08 for Kime, 12 strikeouts against 9 walks. Also has 1 save that came on opening day. So Kime making his 2nd start of the season and his 12th overall appearance for Rockford, the sophomore from Quincy. Facing Mitchell Boobin to lead things off in the bottom half of the 1st of a scoreless game. Boobin, the second baseman, batting .265 for Kenosha this season. The sophomore from Milwaukee, native of Kenosha, Wisconsin, who has had a very hot July. He's got 1 home run and 7 RBIs this season, and 3 for 8 in the team series at Battle Creek. Kenosha split 2 games at C.O. Brown Stadium. Right-handed thrower against the lineup of 8 righties and 1 lefty. Boobin is right-handed. Kime from the third base side winds, and here's the first pitch on the way. And a fastball is fouled away to the right field side, out of play past the concourse. 0-1 the count. Mitchell Boobin in the month of July is batting .340. He's one of the hottest hitters for the Kingfish since the first half ended. Entered July batting just .237. 0-1 from Kime, he throws. Swinging a ground ball up the second base side. Shortstop grabs it. Durbin throws on to first and gets the out by half a step. The new shortstop, Caleb Durbin for Rockford, playing his first game. The first ball's hit to him, and he makes quick work of the leadoff man, Boobin. He had to move to his left, almost behind the second base bag to make the putout. And Hunter Kime's got his first out of the day. Defensively for Rockford, Aaron Mann plays third base with Durbin at short. Josh Dutton is at second with Tom Jostin playing first base. Andrew Wilhite in left, Matt Higgins in center, and Jake Vanderwall in right field for Rockford. Mason Minzy doing the catching for Hunter Kime with Johnny Butler DHing. First pitch to Brendan Hewitt from Kime is high and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Hewitt, the left-handed batter, the only one not batting right-handed against the righty Kime. He's .260 on the season. Wearing number 17 in white. Sophomore from St. Joseph's. 1-0 pitch is low and inside, just above the dirt, 2-0. Kingfish wearing their home white jerseys, cream-colored jerseys with dark blue numerals across the back, and Kenosha across the front. Rockford in their road dark grays with gold lettering and numerals. 2-0 pitch is just off the outside corner, ball 3. Hewitt has just 9 walks in 29 games this season. 3 balls and no strikes from Hunter Kime. The righty winds and deals. Fastball again off the outside corner, and a 4-pitch walk to Brendan Hewitt. First base runner for either team, and Kime walks Hewitt on 4 pitches following an early putout by Mitchell Boobin and a 1-out base runner. For the left fielder, Mike Jarvis. Jarvis batting .316. Second highest batting average on this Kenosha roster, and in this lineup today, he's got 3 home runs and a team best 24 RBIs. The junior from San Diego State. Batting righty versus Kime. With Hewitt at first and 1 out, middle infield looks to turn 2 for Rockford defensively. Here's the first pitch. Fastball below the knees, ball 1 from Kime. Hunter Kime again threw 52 pitches against the Wisconsin Rapids Raptors on July 11th. Allowed 4 runs on 4 hits, walked 3 and struck out 1, faced 10 batters in the opening frame. 1-0 pitch to Jarvis, and fastball again inside, 2 balls and no strikes. And that's 6 straight away from the strike zone from Hunter Kime. Jarvis 4 for 5 yesterday against Battle Creek at C.O. Brown Stadium. Part of a 9-2 win for his team. Drove in 3 RBIs in the game. Had 2 doubles. 2-0 pitches popped up first base side and out of play. 2 balls and a strike. Plenty of summer camps today here at Simmons Field. The kids wearing their color-coded shirts. You got neon orange, blue, yellow, green, violet, purple color off the right field side. Stands pretty much full today for a Wednesday matinee game, a noon start. 2-1 pitch to Jarvis, and a breaking ball outside. Throw down on the way is one hopping into center field. And taking off for third base is Hewitt. The throw on the way is high to man, hops off the dugout, backed up though by Kime on the third base side and foul ground. Hewitt does take 2 bases, a bad throw from Higgins in center field. Allows Hewitt to get in safely off a bad throw from the catcher Mason Minzy. 1 hop the shortstop Caleb Durbin and escaped into center field. It's an error on the catcher Minzy. 3 balls and 1 strike. The count on Mike Jarvis with Hewitt now on third base, 90 feet away, and the sac fly in effect. Corner infielders play in, man at third, Joseph at first. 3-1 pitch on the way is high for ball 4. And Jarvis walks on 5 pitches. And that brings Mason Minzy out to discuss things with Hunter Kime. Rockford in a pinch here early. They've got runners on the corners and 1 out. In a scoreless game at the bottom of the first, in a place where they've won just 1 time this season. Rockford is 1-4 at Simmons Field. They've lost 4 straight games at this ballpark after winning their first game as part of a doubleheader back on July 11th. Most recently, they were walked off on 5-4 on July 3rd by the Kingfish. Kingfish have had 2 walk-off wins against Rockford this season. Rockford's had 2 of their own. It's been a very close series. Here's Luke Stevenson, the DH, facing Kime. They're on the corners with 1 out. From the third base side from the stretch, Kime's first pitch. Fastball is at the knees for a strike call, 0-1. Andrew Gerard calling the balls and strikes with Shea Graham at first base. A 2-man umpiring crew. Again, Tommy Crocker. Yesterday's home plate umpire was injured when a ball was fouled away off his mask. Was taken to the clubhouse, then to the hospital as a precautionary measure. Not in today's game. Stevenson, 0-1 pitch from Kime. Swinging a ball back up the middle, goes to shortstop, taken by Durbin, flips the second one. There's no turn to first, and a run comes home. That ball may have been knocked down by Kime as it rolled slowly to the shortstop Durbin, flipped underhandedly to Dudden at second base for a 6-4 fielder's choice. But Hewitt comes home to score on an RBI fielder's choice by Luke Stevenson, who continues his hot stretch. Jarvis erased at second base, so a man on first and 2 out, and a 1-0 Kenosha lead here in the first inning. Brings up Roberto Pena as Stevenson has his 11th RBI of the season. First pitch to Pena is at the letters for a ball 1 count. Fastball from Hunter Kime. Gives up his first run. Already 3 base runners against him. Hewitt coming home to score. 1-0 pitch is fouled back to the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kime with more balls than strikes in his first 14 pitches, 8 balls and 6 strikes. He walked Hewitt and Jarvis back-to-back on 4 pitches and 5 pitches respectively. And Luke Stevenson grounded 1 back up the middle for a fielder's choice RBI. 1-1 to Pena with 2 out and the pitch. Breaking ball outside, runner is going down, and there's no throw from Minzy as Stevenson steals a base. Minzy with a curveball had no attempt at that play, and that's 2 stolen bases for Kenosha. Rockford with an error in this game already on Minzy. Giving up 2 stolen bases and 1 run. 2-1 pitch to Pena. Grounder, or rather, liner to left center field that falls fast and drops in front of Wilhite for a base hit. Around third base, throw is wide of the bag, and scoring on the play is Stevenson. Pena goes up to second base. A bad throw from Wilhite in left field was way down the third base line, and an RBI single by Roberto Pena scores Stevenson to make it 2-0 Kenosha in the first inning. Hunter Kime again rocked in his second start of the season. Went just 1 inning his first time up and allowed 4 runs. Here he's gotten 2 outs and given up 2 runs. Rockford with 2 errors in this first inning. And the batter is Zachary Nagalski, right-handed batter against Kime. Runner is on second base, Pena, and 2 out. First pitch. Inside, 1 ball, no strikes to the belt. 2-0 Kingfish. They've got 2 runs on 1 hit. They benefited from 2 Rockford errors. 1 on Mason Minzy and another 1 on Andrew Wilhite. 0-1 pitch from Kime to Nagalski is a fastball outside, 1 ball and another 2 balls and no strikes. Nagalski batting .231 this season. Sophomore from Milwaukee. 2-0 pitch from Kime. Letter high set. On the way. Fastball clips the outside corner, a strike, 2-1. So Pena on second base. And 2 out in the bottom of the first. Kenosha leads this 2-1.
No, not last game. Last game I was
2-1 to Nagalski on the way. And a fastball is at the dirt. 3 balls and a strike. Kime has walked 2 guys in this inning, allowed 2 runs on 1 hit. Both runs to come home are unearned off Kime. Rockford's had 2 errors in this game. 3-1 swing and a miss, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And a payoff will come. Connor Mang waits on deck, the first baseman, facing Rockford for the first time this season, batting .164. Nagalski bats .346 against Rockford, one of the highest batting averages versus Rockford. In fact, the highest. 3 balls, 2 strikes from Kime. The payoff pitch to Nagalski is low for ball 4, and Nagalski walks on a payoff pitch. And that puts 2 on base for Connor Mang, and it brings out the pitching coach Adam Carey for Rockford from the first base side dugout. In shallow first base, Kenosha on the third base side. Keim has faced 6 guys and allowed 5 to get on base, a single and 3 walks. He's pitched 22 balls, 13 out of the strike zone. Connor Mang, the next batter, will make his first plate appearance against Rockford. 0 for 4 in yesterday's game, just 2 for 10 of the series against Battle Creek for Kenosha. Batting 164 with 1 home run and 4 RBIs. The redshirt sophomore from New Mexico. Conference ensues between Carey and Minzy, the pitching coach and catcher, along with Hunter Keim on the mound. So in his only 2 starts of the season, he's gone 1 2/3 innings and allowed 6 runs. These 2 unearned so far today. Right-handed batter Connor Mang, the first baseman today for Kenosha. Facing the righty Hunter Keim. First and second, 2 out. Kenosha's got an early 2-0 lead in the first inning. Letter high set by Keim. From the third base side of the rubber, the first pitch. Fastball's fouled back to the right side of the screen, 0-1. Rolls and lands near the Rockford dugout, where Adam Carey and assistant coach TJ Merrick are in chairs. Josh Keim is on the top step, standing up. The ball's in a strike to Mang. Nikolsky at first, Pena at second, 2 out. Both runners take leads, neither being held on. 0-1 pitch. Inside, that one clips Mang. High and inside, and he takes his base. And Josh Keim has loaded the bases. Hunter Keim, excuse me. He hits Connor Mang after walking to Nikolsky and allowing a base hit to Pena. And right away, TJ Merrick's going to warm up a couple of pitchers here. Michael Zavoli, the bullpen catcher, getting in there. Sultan Salibo is walking to the bullpen. Hunter Fiorito joining him, one of the newest Rockford Rivets. So bullpen action right away in the first inning, as Hunter Keim has thrown 25 pitches in this first inning and has faced 8 batters. Cosgrove, first pitch is right down the middle for a strike. Jake Cosgrove, the shortstop, batting .222, bases loaded and 2 out for Kenosha. 2-0 Kingfish in the bottom of the first inning. Cosgrove, the righty from UC Irvine. 0-1 pitch, and a curveball's in for a strike. It's 0-2. And Hunter Keim's 1 strike away from stranding the bases loaded. Just 2 unearned runs against him. The infield has not backed him up all too well. Committed 2 errors in the game. No balls, 2 strikes on Cosgrove from the windup Keim. Into his motion, now throws the pitch. Outside corner, just off the plate, ball 1. Andrew Gerard keeps the at-bat going with the ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Mang at first, Nikolsky at second, and Pena off third base. Infield plays back, no runners being held on. 1 ball, 2 strikes with the bases loaded to Jake Cosgrove is on the way from Keim. Swing and a miss, he got him. Cosgrove goes down on strikes. He swung over a pitch, and Rockford allows 2 runs unearned, but strands the bases loaded. In the inning, it's 2 runs on 1 hit and 2 errors and 3 left. And after 1 inning, it's 2-0 Kenosha. We're through one in Kenosha, Wisconsin. We go to the second inning. Kenosha Kingfish lead the Rockford Rivets by a score of 2-0. Kingfish scratch out 2 runs off 1 hit and 2 errors against Hunter Kime in the bottom of the first inning. Rockford went down 1-2-3 against Keith Kutzler, the Kenosha starter, in the first. Jake Vanderwall faces Kutzler to begin the second inning. Vanderwall batting left-handed. At .278 this season, leads the Rockford team in home runs with 6 and RBIs with 30. Playing his 50th game for Rockford this season. Redshirt junior, first pitch on the way from Kutzler. The swing and a pop-up high, shallow right center field. Mitchell Boobin, the second baseman, calls off everybody else and makes the catch, leaning back with one hand, trying to shield the sun from his eyes. It's a very sunny day in Kenosha. No clouds to be found in the sky. And a catch made by Boobin in the outfield grass for the first out to Vanderwall. So Keith Kutzler brings in an ERA of 4 and a record of 2-4, including an 0-1 record against Rockford pitching. Making his first appearance at home in almost a month. A month tomorrow it will be. And he's done well so far. 4 up, 4 down, pitch count of just 12. Here's Aaron Mann, the third baseman, batting right-handed. The first righty for Kutzler to face. From the first base side winds, and Kutzler fires away the first pitch. Slider to the outside corner, off the plate for ball 1 to Mann. Mann batting .224 with 14 RBIs, no home runs this season, but he's been one of Rockford's hottest bats over the past week. He's got a 5-game hitting streak going on, batting 7 for his last 19 over that span. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Inside fastball called a strike by the home plate umpire Andrew Gerard. And Mann shook his head immediately. He knew that ball was off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mann, the third baseman from Drury, the freshman. Native of Little Rock, Arkansas. Batted .348 with the Drury Panthers this past season. .224 here in summer ball. 1-1 pitch. Swinging a fly ball. Pop up. Left center field. Deeper this time, but Hewitt ranges over to make the catch. And the left-handed outfielder snags it over his right shoulder for the second out of the inning. And just like that, Keith Kutzler is gone 5 up and 5 down versus this Rockford lineup. Rockford batting .245, the 14th best record of the Northwoods League. 6-13 to the second half. They are the worst team by in terms of record in the second half. But at 26-28, they trail Kalamazoo by just 2 games in the Great Lakes East for that second playoff spot. Here's the first pitch to Caleb Durbin and a strike. Caleb Durbin, the freshman from Washington University in St. Louis. Making his first plate appearance, playing shortstop today, right-handed batter at 5'8". 0-1 pitch, swinging a ball hit back up the middle, a flare to right center for a base hit for Durbin. So Durbin sends one right back where it came from, and it bloops in for a base hit beyond the second base bag. And Caleb Durbin's 1 for 1 on his Rockford career. He's got a 2-out single. And that brings up Tom Jostin as the inning keeps on going. That's the first base runner allowed by Keith Kutzler. And each team has 1 hit in the game. Kenosha leads 2-0 in the top half of the second. 2 out for Rockford, and Tom Jostin, a left-hander batter, batting .213 this season. And Kutzler from the stretch for the first time. Left foot over his right from the first base side. Fires the first pitch to Jostin. Fastball grounded to second base. Taken by Boobin. Flipped on the backhand to second base. Is in time to get Durbin just by a step as he slid in. And a fielder's choice, 4-6, retires Tom Jostin. And that is the inning. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. After 1.5, our score, Kenosha 2 and the Rivets nothing. Home half of the second inning in Kenosha, Wisconsin, back here at Simmons Field. It's 2-0 Kingfish. They put across 2 runs on 1 hit off Hunter Kime. 2 unearned runs off Kime. Rockford committing 2 errors in that first inning. Drew Dyer to face Hunter Kime to begin the second, and Drew Dyer in the 9 spot is maybe not the guy that Rockford wants to face. Despite batting .208, second lowest batting average on the team, has been perhaps the hottest Kingfish batter over the past week. He's got a 4-game hitting streak and a 4-game RBI streak. First pitch from Kime, squares to bunt, right down the middle for a strike as Dyer bluffed it. 0-1. Dyer had a home run on Friday against Wisconsin Rapids. Again, he's hit and driven in a run in his last 4 games. He's had 2 multi-hit games on this streak. Batting average up to .208. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Kime. A swing and a miss at a changeup. It's 0-2. Dyer from Chicago State, the grandson of manager Duffy Dyer. No balls and 2 strikes to Dyer. Time for the windup, the righty-on-righty battle. Here's the pitch. Outside for ball 1, a slider from Hunter Kime. Misses low and away. Dyer's batting .214 against Rockford this season in 6 games. So Dyer back over the 200 line. 1-2 pitch to Dyer. Swing and a miss. Outside pitch from Kime gets him down. Second strikeout for Hunter Kime. Threw 29 pitches in that first inning against 8 batters. Allowed 6 base runners, just 1 base hit, walked 3, and hit 1 man. RBI fielder's choice by Luke Stevenson, and an RBI single by Roberto Pena, aided by a throwing error by Andrew Wilhite to score Stevenson. Redden Hewitt also scored. Here's Mitchell Boobin, top of the order. First pitch on the way from Kime. It's a fastball low and outside. 1 ball and no strikes. 1 away, bottom of the second inning. 2-0 Kenosha here at Simmons Field. Rockford and Kenosha have played 5 times here. This is the last game. They're 4-1 are the Kingfish here. Ground ball to third base. Playing inside man. Throws on to first and gets the out by about 20 feet or so. Aaron Mann was playing on the grass at third base. A ball just one-hopped him, a hard grounder from Boobin. And Mann makes quick work of him for the second out of the inning. And Hunter Kime has retired 3 in a row. Kingfish have won 4 or 5 games here at Simmons Field against Rockford. They've won 4 straight. Rockford is undefeated at 5-0 against the Kingfish at Rivet Stadium. This is the final 2 games between these 2 teams. First pitch to Brendan Hewitt now. This is a fastball right down the pipe for a strike. 0-1. Hewitt walked and scored a run back in the first. He stole the base and advanced to third off a bad throw by Mason Minzy, an E2. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And that one bounced about 3 feet in front of the plate. He spikes a fastball. 1 ball and 1 strikes. Looking around the Northwoods League, Growlers and Bombers are playing 2 today. Kalamazoo leads 11-8 in game 1 in the 7th inning. 1-1 pitch to Hewitt. Swinging a ball to between first and second. Moving over, Dudden throws on to first and gets the out, playing in the grass. And Dudden makes the play. He had to back up a foot on the outfield grass to make the play over. But Hunter Kime has thrown a 1-2-3 second inning. And after 2 innings, it's 2-0 Kenosha. We're on to the third inning. It's 2-0 Kenosha over Rockford. Hunter Kine throws a 1-2-3 second inning after allowing 2 runs unearned in the first. Keith Kutzler has faced just 7 rivets through 2 innings. The Wisconsin Whitewater product, Keith Kutzler from Kenosha, Wisconsin, playing in his hometown. Looking for his 3rd win on the season is Kutzler. Facing a Rockford team he's lost against before at Rivet Stadium. Again, his first appearance at home in a day shy of a month. And he's got 2 scoreless innings and allowed just 1 hit. Facing Johnny Butler is the top of the, Mason Minzy, 27 on 26. It's Mason, Minzy, Josh Dudden, and Johnny Butler, 8-9-1 to begin the 3rd. Minzy, a switch hitter batting lefty versus the righty Keith Kutzler. And Kutzler from the first base side, ready to wind up. He's set above the letters. And here is the first pitch to Minzy. Swinging a ball hit foul down the first base side, a dribbler. Wide of the first base coach, TJ Merrick, who picks it up and tosses that baseball to the Rockford dugout. Hunter Fiorito has it go off his hand, and it caroms into some seats on the first base side. Now a fan picks it up, and he's going to keep the ball. No balls and 1 strike to Minzy. Here's the pitch from Kutzler. Fastball, check swing off the outside corner. Appeal down the first, did not go. That's not the first base's umpire to appeal usually. But there's no third base umpire today. Shea Graham is at first. Andrew Gerard at home. Again, Tom Crocker, the umpire yesterday at home plate, was injured by a foul ball that hit off his mask, and he's no longer in action for today's doubleheader. Had to leave that game in the 5th inning. 1-1 to Minzy on the way. And a swing at a foul ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes off to the left, and it reaches the parking lot and hops harmlessly out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Minzy, batting 200 flat this season, 14 for 70. He's got 7 RBIs and no homers this season for Rockford, the catcher from Texas Tech. 0 for 4 in the series against Kalamazoo. Played game 1, did not play yesterday. 1-2 pitch. Fastball is outside, and it bounces away from the catcher, Drew Dyer, up the third base line. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mason Minzy over his last 2 road games is 4 for 9. He's had a bit of a resurgence as of late. 6th game he's played against Kenosha, batting 188 versus the Kingfish this season with 2 RBIs. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Minzy. Long hold from Kutzler. And he steps off as Minzy is out of his stance. Minzy, the Michigan native, playing his 24th game with Rockford. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Minzy. Now the pitch from Kutzler. Curveball on the outside corner, strike 3 call, and Minzy goes down on strikes. 2nd strikeout for Keith Kutzler to open the 3rd inning. And there's 1 away for Josh Dudden. Well, Dudden's in need of some offense here. He has been hitless in his last 5 games, 0 for his last 16. That's the longest hitless streak he's had this season, the junior from Creighton. Batting average has dipped down to .252 for Dudden. Lefty versus the righty Keith Kutzler, 1 out in the 3rd. 2-0 Rockford trails here in Kenosha. Here's the first pitch. And a breaking ball, misses the outside corner that time. 1 ball, no strike. Similar pitch that Kutzler just struck out Minzy on. Dudden with 1 home run, 16 RBIs this season. 0-1 pitch is fouled away to the left side. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dudden batting .286 versus Kenosha this season, over his batting average of .252. Native of Colorado Springs, Colorado. A top 10 infielder at second base coming out of the state of Colorado by perfect game in high school. 1-1 pitch on the way to Dudden. And a ground ball between first and second. First baseman off to play it. Flips it over to Kutzler. It's wide of his glove and dribbles toward the Rockford dugout. An underhand play from Connor Mang, the first baseman, misses the glove of Kutzler off to his left. It'll be an E3, and Josh Dudden reaches on that play. Bit of a lazy toss from Connor Mang off the first base bag. And Dudden reaches with 1 out. He's on first base for Johnny Butler. Well, it won't count as a hit. It'll be 0 for 17 for Dudden in his last now 6 games. But he's on first base. And the batter is Johnny Butler, who will fly to center field to begin this ball game in Kenosha at 12:05 p.m. Left-handed batter as Kutzler from the stretch leans in, has the sign, and throws the first pitch. Runner takes off, and Butler dribbles it up the third base line and foul. No balls and a strike. Dutton, not exactly a threat to steal. He's got 5 stolen bags this season. Just 1 for 3 against Kenosha, though, on the base pass.
Dude, how much trouble?
Johnny Butler is 1 for 4 versus the Kingfish, playing just his 2nd game against Kenosha. Came in batting .328. He's got 1 home run this season. It came yesterday. 0-1 pitch to him. Kutzler holds and now fires. Fastball is ripped to right center field. Over comes Hewitt, and he makes the catch on the run. At his chest, throw back to first base, trying to double off, and Dutton gets back in time as the ball bounced to Mang at first base. Ball looked good off the bat from Butler. A hard hit ball to right center field, but Hewitt got over in the gap to cut it off in time. So a pair of F8s for Butler, and there's 2 down in the 3rd inning. The batter is Andrew Wilhite. It was Butler and Wilhite going back-to-back yesterday in the order. Butler homered in the 5th inning, and Wilhite appeared to do so, but a ball was called foul. That was actually a fair ball. So Dutton got a home run, but Wilhite did not. Wilhite's up now. He's 0 for 1 today. Wilhite struck out later in that at-bat, too, to make matters worse. Was 1 for 4 yesterday with an RBI. Lefty batter. Kutzler tosses back to first, and Mang nearly picks off of Dutton. Dutton got back just in time, diving head first. So Wilhite was 2 for 8 in the series against Kalamazoo with 2 RBIs, 1 in either game. Was 1 for 4 in both contests. Batting .345 versus Kenosha this season. Here's the 0-0 pitch. Fastball is fouled away to the left side by the left-handed batter Wilhite, 0-1. Wilhite playing left field today. He's already committed 1 error. Freshman from Minnesota, native of Stillman Valley, Illinois. About 25 miles south of Rockford. Riding a 5-game road hitting streak is Wilhite. .364 over his last 5 road games. 0 for 1 today with a ground out to second base. Again, a toss back to first, and Dutton is nearly picked off again. Very quick pickoff move from Kutzler, and Mang a very quick tag again, but Dutton gets back twice in a row. The count still no balls and 1 strike. One of quite a few games in action right now. This is a day of double headers. Battle Creek and Kalamazoo playing 2 games today, as are Wisconsin and Wisconsin Rapids. And here we are between Kenosha and Rockford. Home and road, day-night doubleheaders between 6 teams in the Northwoods League. The ball is 1 strike to Wilhite, and the pitch. Curveball bends outside, 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 away. Dutton on first base and 2 out. Rockford trails 2-0 top of the 3rd. Keith Kutzler's given up just 3 base runners, or 2 base runners, I should say. An E3 and a single. Pitch number 30 coming up as a 1-1 to Wilhite from Kutzler. Again, a toss back to first, and Dutton is picked off this time. Took an extra step, and the 3rd time is the charm to get Dutton. He's picked off of first base, and you can see it coming. That ends the inning, so after 3, Kalamazoo, 2.5 rather, Rockford trails Kenosha 2-0. Home half of the third inning in Kenosha, Wisconsin, back at historic Simmons Field. Rockford no score and Kenosha 2. Hunter Kime back to face the 3, 4, and 5 batters in the Kenosha third. Mike Jarvis, Luke Stevenson, Roberto Pena. That was the middle third that put together the 2 RBIs back in the first inning versus Kime. Righty on righty, Kime against Jarvis, and the first pitch from the windup is on the way. Line to left field, pretty deep, back on it. Wilhite, he looks over his head, he can't get it. 3 hops the wall. On to second base goes Jarvis. He's in there standing with a double to open the third inning. That ball just rolled right to the wall after it went over Wilhite's head. A hot line drive that was deep to left by Jarvis. And a double to begin the third. Batter now is Luke Stevenson. That's the first extra base hit for either team today. Rockford in their last series versus Kalamazoo allowed 0 extra base hits in the 2 games. First one they've given up since the Traverse City series. Luke Stevenson now, first pitch from Kime is a pop-up. Shallow outfield grass, the shortstop, Durbin, called off by Wilhite, who makes the catch from left field. They nearly run into each other. And there's one away in the third inning. And the batter is Roberto Pena. So a Jarvis double and a pop out on the next pitch to Luke Stevenson. There's one away now in the third with Rockford trailing 2-0. Kenosha looking to score again off Kime. He's allowed 2 unearned runs in the game. Batter now is Pena. And the first pitch on the way. And a swing and a pop up again behind shortstop. Wilhite calls for this one. It's pretty deep in the outfield this time compared to the last one. And Wilhite makes the catch. Still shallow left, but deeper than the last fly ball. And a couple of pop-outs to left field from Stevenson and Pena. And there's 2 away now for Zachary Nagalski. Kimes just used 2 pitches to get 2 outs after Jarvis sent the first pitch to left field. No pitches have been taken of the 3 thrown in this third inning by Kime. He's up to 41 in the game. Here's Nagalski, who walked back in the first inning. He's 0 for 0, the right fielder from Milwaukee. And now the first pitch. Curveball. This one's taken, but it's for a strike at the belt, 0-1. That was Kenosha's second hit of the game, the double by Jarvis. The ball's in a strike to Nagalski. And now the pitch from Kime. Off the outside corner, 1 ball, 1 strike. Nagalski entering this game, batting .231 this season with 16 RBIs and a homer. 55 strikeouts leads the team and is among the tops in the league. 1-1 is taken for a strike down the middle, 1-2. And Kime 1 strike away from ending the threat of a leadoff double by Mike Jarvis. On the first pitch he threw, no less. He's bounced back well so far. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out to Nagalski. 2-0 Kenosha, bottom 3. From the stretch, Kime. Here's the pitch on the way. Fouls off a changeup to the screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nagalski was well out in front, but just got a piece. Rockford's Jimmy Burnett goes out to retrieve that ball that was at the backstop. So again, a 1-2. It's righty on righty. From the third base side, Kime sets letter high and holds. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball high above the letters. 2-2 to Nagalski. Kalamazoo leads Battle Creek 11-8 in the 8th inning of a 9-inning first game of the doubleheader. That's a big result for Rockford. I'll tell you why. 2-2 pitch on Nagalski. Kime looks back, now throws. Curveball is popped up to center field for Higgins. I'll tell you next inning, Higgins under it, makes the catch, and that retires the side. So a leadoff double to Jarvis, then 3 straight pop-outs to the outfield. Gets through the third for Kime, no runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left, no errors. Third of the way down in game 1, it is Kenosha 2 and the Rivets, no score. Top of the fourth in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Rockford trails 2-0. They come to the plate, facing Keith Kutzler, who has faced just 10 batters through 3. End of the third inning on a Josh Dutton pickoff off first base. The third pickoff attempt was the charm, and everyone knew it was really coming. Dutton took an extra step, and Kutzler made him pay. In the fourth, he'll face Wilhite, Higgins, and Vanderwall. With Rockford having scratched across just 1 hit, they've gotten 3 total base runners, or make that 2 base runners in the game. A Caleb Durbin single, the new guy, and a Josh Dutton E3 reach, and he was promptly erased. So Wilhite to bat in the fourth. He grounded out to second base in the first inning. He's 0 for 1. Was at the plate when Kutzler threw and picked off Dutton. Lefty Wilhite, the righty Keith Kutzler, who's thrown 29 pitches through 3. Here is the first pitch on the way. His fastball is popped up to center field. Hewitt ranges over to his right, toward the gap in left center. He makes the catch with 2 hands, and that retires Wilhite for the first out on 1 pitch. And the batter is Matt Higgins for Rockford. So Rockford wants Kalamazoo to lose as many games as possible, because in the second half standings, well, Rockford is the last place team, but that doesn't matter. In the playoff race, though, it's the overall record that matters. The second best overall record, provided Traverse City clinches the second half lead as well. Here's the first pitch to Higgins on the way, and it's high and outside, 1-0. So if Traverse City clinches both halves, and they are well on their way to doing so, they have a 10.5 game lead over the overall standings, and a 5.5 game lead in the second half over Kalamazoo. If they do, it will be the second place team in the overall record. 1-0 pitch, inside on a curveball, 2-0, gets to the backstop. So right now, Kalamazoo is 2 games ahead on Rockford for that second spot in the overall record. They're 2 games over 500, Rockford 2 games under. So if the Rivets can jump Kalamazoo and have the best record aside from Traverse City in the 72-game schedule, they will clinch that playoff spot. 2-0 pitch to Higgins on the way from Kutzler. Fastball's fouled off Higgins' right leg, and it's a 2-1 count. Well, Rockford's lost 5 in a row. Kalamazoo had lost 6 in a row, but took both games in Rockford by scores of 6-2 and 4-3. Kenosha's actually 2.5 games back of Rockford for the third place spot, so the Rabbits have lost 4 in a row. They're Rockford's next opponent tomorrow. 2 balls and a strike on Higgins now. Lefty batter. Struck out back in the first. He's 0 for 1. Higgins batting at 281. 2 balls and a strike. And here's the pitch. Fastball's well outside. 3 balls and a strike. Higgins lays that one off. Well, Higgins now is the guy who owns the lowest number on the Rockford roster in terms of jersey, with numbers 1 and 3 both gone from the roster as of last night. 3-1 pitch on the way, and a fastball's taken for a strike. 3-2, high and outside, and just nicked the corner. Higgins was on his way to first base, but the count was full on him. Blake Burrows and Nick Jouer now no longer on the Rockford roster, number 1 and 3 respectively. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Higgins. From the letters, Kutzler fires away. Fastball's fouled off. 3 balls and 2 strikes again. So Burrows and Jouer both suffered apparent injuries earlier in the week and have both been released from the Rockford roster. Both guys who were there from the very beginning for the Rivets. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Higgins. And Kutzler's payoff. Swinging a liner first base side, right to the bag. It's taken by Mang, who runs into the first base himself. Tags the bag for the second out. And the batter is Jake Vanderwall with 2 out. Vanderwall popped to second base back in his second inning, the first time up. He's 0 for 1 today. 6 home runs to lead the Rockford roster. Been a few games since he's gone deep, though. Not since the first game of the Traverse City series back on Saturday. First pitch. Curveball is on the outside corner for a strike, 0-1.
That's worse than something I would say.
Kutzler has allowed just 1 hit and 2 runners in 3 2/3 innings. His pitch count remains low. It's at 38. Here's the 0-1 to Vanderwall. Fastball is fouled down the first base line on the ground, 0-2. Bounces off Trevin Eubanks of the Rockford bullpen and escapes into right field where Eubanks picks it up. Working with the band, stretching himself out. He and Sultan Salibo are in the Rockford bullpen. Neither of them throwing right now. Hunter Kime's done well through 3 innings in his own right. His first start of the season to go beyond 1 inning. 0-2 on Vanderwall. Here's the pitch. High and outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jake. With 2 away in the 4th, Aaron Mann would be next. Kenosha 2, Rockford nothing. Top 4 and 2 out, nobody on base. Infield play straight up against Vanderwall. The ball's 2 strikes. The 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kutzler letter high set. And here's the 1-2 on the way. Fastball misses outside, 2-2. And the count evens up. That was pitch number 41 from Kutzler. Kutzler looking for his 2nd home win of the season, the first since June 4th. In relief. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way to Vanderwall. Swinging a ground ball between first and second, moving to his left. Boobin gets up and throws on to first for the out. Vanderwall out by a couple of steps, and that is the 4th inning. A 1-2-3-4 thrown from Keith Kutzler. He's allowed just 1 hit through 4, and after 3.5, it is Rockford no score and Kenosha 2. Bottom of the 4th inning, Kenosha leads Rockford 2-0. This is a Kingfish team that's won 4 of the last 5 games. Rockford has lost 5 in a row. Connor Mang, Jake Cosgrove, Drew Dyer to face Hunter Kime in the 4th. Kime has thrown 47 pitches through 3, allowed 2 runs on 2 hits. Here's the first pitch to the righty, Connor Mang from the righty Kime. And a fastball's fouled away over the screen to the right side. No balls and a strike. Connor Mang was hit by a pitch back in the 1st to load the bases, but the next man, Jake Cosgrove, was down on strikes to end the 1st inning. And Kime was beaten up for 2 runs. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Mang. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. The only loss over the last 5 games for Kenosha was a 13-12 walk-off loss against Battle Creek. Walked off against Kalamazoo the night before. Here's the pitch, and it's a pop-up on 1-1. Over Kime's head just about. He wants to make it himself, then is called off, and it drops in front of Mason Minzy. Unbelievable. Hunter Kime was called off by, well, nobody really in the infield. They all surrounded around the baseball, but it dropped in front of Minzy. And on first base safely is Connor Mang. That's phenomenal.
Shortstop number 36.
That ball didn't touch anybody's glove. So Connor Main gets the easiest base hit of his life. Brings up Jake Cosgrove with one on and nobody out. First pitch. Bunt square. Beautiful bunt down the third base line. Rolling. Man throws on to first. It's wide of the bag. Off the glove of Jostin. Leaks into right field. To third base now goes Mang. He's in safely with no throw. And an E5 on Aaron Mann puts runners on the corners and nobody out. Mann with a throw wide of the line, and the first baseman, Jostin, is lucky that Cosgrove didn't bowl into him and send him to the ground. It hit off Jostin's glove and leaked into shallow right field on a bad throw on the run from Aaron Mann, and Rockford has caught the error bug in this inning. A Connor Mang single that was effectively an error. Now an E5 on Jake Cosgrove. And they're on the corners and nobody out for Drew Dyer. Dyer is 0 for 1 today, struck out back in the second. He's had a hit and RBI in his last 4 games. Here's a time to get both ticks off the box. First pitch to Dyer. Swing and a miss at a fastball just above the plate. No balls and 1 strike. Dyer, the catcher for Kenosha, batting average coming in at .208. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fastball just off the plate, high and outside. 1 ball and 1 strike from Kime. 2-0 Kenosha. Runners are on the corners, nobody out. We're in the bottom of the 4th. Kingfish, their last home series, a series sweep against Kalamazoo. A bunt square is popped up and foul past the Rockford dugout and out of play on a popped up bunt from Dyer off to the first base side. And the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. That's a very rare play.
Pay attention to the playing field. Line bats and balls.
Kenosha 11-14 at home. Rockford 9-15 away from home. Kenosha's won 4 of 5 against Rockford at Simmons Field this season, including 4 straight. They lead 2-0 here in the 4th. 1-2 pitch on the way to Dyer. Swing and a miss. A foul tip. The umpire rolls into Minzy's glove anyway, so it's a strikeout for Kime, his 3rd of the day. And there's 1 away in the 4th inning. Runners still on the corners, and the batter is Mitchell Boobin. Boobin, the right-handed batter, with 1 away. Corner infielders do play in once again. Aaron Mann, who committed the errors at 3rd. Tom Jostin at 1st. Middle infield looks to turn 2 and end the inning with 1 away. Boobin is 0 for 2 with a couple of groundouts to the left side. To short and to 3rd. First pitch is pop foul out of play to the screen right side. No balls and a strike on Boobin, the second baseman. Boobin batting .340 in July coming into today, but 0 for 2 in today's game. On the season batting .262 with 7 RBIs and a home run. 0-1 pitch on the way. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike, and taking second base with no throw, Jake Cosgrove. So Cosgrove eliminates the double play. And Kenosha steals their 3rd bag of the afternoon. They're 3 for 3 on the base paths. They've controlled the base paths so far. Kenosha, a team that steals bags at a 72% clip. 1-1 pitch, swinging a flare to right field, coming on near the line. Vanderwall, that ball is a dive, and Vanderwall has to go right by him. He dove, the ball dropped behind him. It's into the tarp, and Vanderwall puts his hands up. It's a double on the play, a grounds rule double. That one scores both Mang and Cosgrove. 2 runs do come home to make it 4-0 Kenosha. Everyone came across, including the batter Mitchell Boobin, but the ball was caught in the tarp as it got behind Vanderwall on a dive, bounced in front of him, then rolled to the tarp. A 2 RBI double for Mitchell Boobin scores Mang and Cosgrove, and Kenosha has a 4-0 lead here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. RBIs number 8 and 9 for Boobin, off a 3 for 8 series against Battle Creek. His first 2 RBIs against Rockford this season. And 4 runs allowed for the 2nd straight start by Hunter Kime. Here's Brendan Hewitt now with 1 away. And Boobin off second base with a grounds rule double. Lefty batter, here's the first pitch from Kime on the way. Fastball low and outside, 1 ball, no strikes. 4 runs allowed for Keim in this start. It's gone 3 1/3, 57 pitches. No action in the Rockford bullpen. No one's thrown just yet. It's Keim's inning to figure out. 1-0 pitch to Hewitt. Again outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Adam Carey's talked with the battery once already in this game, back in the first inning. See if he comes out again. Those are 2 really errors that, or 2 runs scored that Hunter Keim's not really responsible for, in a way. 1-0 pitch, or the 2-0 pitch is high and outside, 3-0. Connor Mang reached on what was technically a single, but the ball bounced in front of everyone on the pitcher's mound. No one called for a pop foul or a pop fly ball in front of the pitcher's mound, and it dropped. Jake Cosgrove reached on a bad throw by Aaron Mann. And those 2 runs are the ones that have come across. Only one of them is earned. 3-0 pitch is taken on the inside corner for a strike. 3 balls and 1 strike. Things falling off the rails again for Rockford. They haven't won since July 18th against Battle Creek, their first game following the All-Star break. They won 13-3. Since then, they've lost 5 straight games, including back-to-back sweeps at home. 3-1 pitch is taken for ball 4, and Mitchell Rubin draws a 5-pitch walk. Or Brandon Hewitt, excuse me. That moves Boobin to second base. And the batter is Mike Jarvis. First and second and 1 out. Jarvis the batter now. And Jarvis is 1 for 1 with a double and a walk today. Jarvis leads the team with 24 RBIs, 3 home runs tied for the top, and 14 doubles at the top as well for Kenosha. First and second, 1 out. 4-0 Kingfish here in the 4th inning. Here's the first pitch. Swing and a miss. Throw down to third base. Runner coming is not in time. Boobin slides in head first. As the ball one-hop man, he knocked it down. Both runners do take bases. It's second and third. Double steal was on. So the Kingfish have again swiped more bags in this 4th inning. And now the umpire ruling that both runners have to go back. It appears as if Mike Jarvis may have interfered with the throw down to third base. That's why the runners are coming on back. So it's first and second now and 1 out. 0-1 the count on Jarvis. And here's the pitch. Curveball inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. So Mike Jarvis remains in with a 1-1 count. Both runners forced to move back. Double steal is wiped out. Jarvis may have just held his bat back and interfered with the catcher Mason Minzy, who threw a bad throw to third base. One-hopped Aaron Mann, who knocked it down. A ball and a strike. And now the pitch. Strike 2 down the middle. Luke Stevenson waits on deck, the DH. 4-0 Kenosha, bottom of the 4th inning. 1 out against Hunter Keim, first and second. Mike Jarvis doubled his last time out. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Keim leans in from the stretch. Still waits, does not have the sign yet. Minzy looking to give it to him, and Keim steps out. Can't agree on a sign with Mason Minzy. Hewitt at first, Boobin at second with 1 out. Ahead of a 1-2 strike count to Mike Jarvis. Now the set from Keim, letter high. Here comes his 1-2. Runners again take off. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Throw down is 1 hop to Mann again. It hops off his glove and bounces in front of him. So both men do take bases, but there's 2 away. A strikeout to Mike Jarvis. 4th strikeout for Keim today. And the double steal works after all. Brings up Luke Stevenson. Minzy's had a rough time getting throws down. Every one of his throws have 1 hop their men. Here's Luke Stevenson with 2 out. Stevenson reached on a fielder's choice, an RBI fielder's choice, back in the 1st inning and popped to left. So he's 0 for 2 with a run batted in. Second and third, 2 out. Righty on righty, here's the first pitch. Swinging a ball, hit foul third base side to the bullpen. In the Kingfish end, 0-1. Third base runner Boobin just jumped out of the way of that ground ball. It was in foul ground anyway. No balls, 1 strike. Heim leans in, and a letter high set. No balls and a strike to Stevenson. Here's the pitch. Fouls off a changeup to the right side to the screen 0-2. Luke Stevenson batting .341, the top batting average on this Kingfish team. 11 RBIs, 2 home runs, playing just his 12th game. He's had a hit in his first 11 games. This is number 12. He's yet to get a hit today. 0-2 the count to Stevenson, now the pitch. Swinging a pop-up behind third base. Shortstop Durbin, third baseman man. It's Durbin calling for it. Trying to shield his eyes from the sun. He makes the catch with 2 hands, glove over his head in shallow left field. So a pop out to the shortstop ends it, but 2 runs come across on 2 hits. A 2 RBI double by Mitchell Boobin brings home Mang and Cosgrove, and the Kenosha Kingfish lead 4-0 after 4. We're in the 5th inning. Kenosha leads Rockford now 4-0. They got 2 runs in the first and now 2 in the 4th off of Hunter Kime. Those runs really not really Hunter Kime's fault in the 4th inning. 2 errors, well, 1 error and 1 unofficial error. Bring home the 2 runs. Aaron Mann faces Kutzler to start the 5th. Righty batter. First pitch. Curveball line to shortstop. It's caught by the shortstop Cosgrove for the first out. Cosgrove leaning down to his left to make the play. The ball was trapped just above the dirt. And a line out to the shortstop starts the 5th for Aaron Mann in Rockford. Brings up Caleb Durbin. Durbin is 1 for 1 to begin his Rockford career, playing his first game today, the sophomore from Wash U in St. Louis. Singled back in the 2nd inning. The first and only Rockford hit today. Righty batter Durbin at 5'8". And here is the first pitch on the way. And a fastball is on the inside corner for a strike. 0-1 the count. So Caleb Durbin wears number 7 and plays shortstop. It reminds a lot of Rockford fans of Brendan Comia. Little guy too. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fastball again nicks the inside corner. No balls and 2 strikes the count on Durbin. Back-to-back pitches in the same location just about. Tom Josen waits on deck. 1 out in the top of the 5th. And here's the 0-2 pitch to Durbin. Inside it, nicked him. Up high, and Nick Durbin as he turned his back away. Not sure where that ball hit him exactly, near the shoulder. Durbin goes on to first base as Kutzler pitched him inside all 3 pitches. Got 2 strike calls, but then hit him. And the batter is Tom Josten with 1 on and 1 out. Josten grounded into a fielder's choice to end the 2nd inning with Durbin on first base once again. Josten, the first baseman from UCF, the junior. Throw back to first base, and the tag put on late to Durbin. Kutzler's gotten one pickoff today off Josh Dudden. Took him 3 tries to get it. If this tells you anything, as a Rockford fan, he'll keep doing it. First pitch to Joseph, low and away. Ball gets away from Dyer, but no advance from Durbin on first base. Roller just at the first base line. Joseph batting .212 this season. He's hit in 3 of his last 4 games and has been on base in 10 straight for this Rockford team, but just 2 for his last 15 on the road, spanning his last 5, including today. 1-0 from Keith Kutzler. Fastball misses outside and low. 2 balls and no strikes. And the catcher, Drew Dyer, up standing as if it was a pitch out, but again, Durbin not going off first base. Durbin stole 18 bags with St. Louis, or with Wash U St. Louis in 41 games. So he is a threat to steal. 2-0, throwback again to first, and they did not get him. First baseman Mang thought he had him. Still 2-0, and that's another throwback on Tom Jostin here in this inning. Rather, Caleb Durbin, excuse me. 2-0 to Jostin. Letter high set from Kutzler. Throws back again to first. Tag will put on the leg, not in time. They'll keep trying it. If this game were in Rockford, there'd be boos coming down.
Hey. Thanks, dude.
2 balls and no strikes. Here's the pitch from Kutzler. Fastball misses low and outside. In the dirt, 3 balls and no strikes. Kutzler off the mound, and we'll see if he talks with Drew Dyer. He does not. Kutzler retreats back after getting the baseball. A 3-ball and no strike count with 1 away. Kutzler steps on the rubber against the lefty Jostin. The righty set to throw his 50th pitch of the game. Here comes the 3-0. Fastball is on the outside corner, a strike to Jostin. He has 1 step out of the batter's box, but Forey was called back with a 3-1 count now. 3 balls, 1 strike from Kutzler to Jostin. Kutzler looks back at first, now has the sign as he leans back. 3-1 the count. Throw back to first base, and Durbin is up, slotting once again. 3-1 again to Tom Jostin. Mason Minzy waits on deck. 1 out in the 5th inning. Durbin on first base. Rockford trails 4-0 here in Kenosha. Here's a 3-1 pitch from Kutzler to the plate. Swing and a miss by Jostin, a fastball. 3-2. Looking around the out-of-town scores, Kalamazoo defeats Battle Creek 11-8 in the Kalamazoo part of the doubleheader. They'll play in Battle Creek at 7 o'clock tonight. Kokomo is at Traverse City today as well. 3-2 on Jostin. Kutzler holds the set. Now the payoff pitch. Outside ball 4, throw down not made as Durbin was taken off. He's got second base anyway. A Jostin walk on a payoff pitch. Puts runners on first and second and 1 out for Mason Minzy, the Rockford backstop. Minzy, the switch hitting catcher, batting lefty. 0 for 1, struck out looking back in the 3rd off of Keith Kutzler. There will be a substitution. Next up, it'll be Hunter Fiorito batting for Josh Dudden as a pinch hitter if it gets as far as him. 2 on, 1 out for Minzy now. Kutzler sets letter high from the stretch. First pitch to the plate as a curveball outside of Minzy. 1 ball, no strikes. Taken off for third base, ball got away. Throw down is in time as Durbin took a late start going off the bag at second base. Jostin goes to second, but there are 2 away now as Durbin was sort of caught. Try to measure if that ball was away from Dyer's glove enough to go down to third base. He said yes. If he had gone straight away, it would have been safe. But he was out just by a hair on the head first slide, and I'm sure the Rockford staff will have a talking with him. So 2 out now for Minzy with Jostin on second base. 1 ball is a no strike the count. 1-0 pitch inside a fastball, 2-0 to Minzy. So Rockford looking to get 2 in scoring position. Durbin cut down at third base. on a good throw coming from the catcher, Drew Dyer, after he dropped the baseball initially. 2 balls, no strikes on Minzy. Kutzler a long lead. Now he has the sign. Letter high set for the 2-0. Now the pitch. Fastball falls just inside. 3-0. Borderline pitch there. And a 3-ball count on Minzy, who struck out last time up. Good crowd here in Kenosha. The school bus is parked behind the stadium. Plenty of camps in attendance today. We await an official number. 3 balls and no strikes on Minzy. Now the pitch. Fastball is outside, ball 4. Runner takes off to third base. The ball got away from Drew Dyer as Minzy walks, so it'll be Jostin on third and Minzy at first with 2 out. 3 straight base runners, and now Josh Dutton is being pinch hit for by Hunter Fiorito. Fiorito will play second base in relief of Josh Dutton, who exits the game after being picked off of first base. Well, Josh Kyle was out talking with the home plate umpire, perhaps making that move after the 3rd inning. After Dutton was picked off, there's a conversation on the mound right now. Pitching coach for Kenosha, that being Gonzalo Gonzalez, talking with the entire infield. They're on the corners with 2 out, and the batter will be Hunter Fiorito for Rockford, who was 0 for 3 to begin his season. First game he's played since Sunday when he was 0 for 3 against Traverse City. Playing shortstop in that game, he's at second base today, wearing number 10 in dark gray. He'll bat right-handed versus the righty Keith Kutzler, but there are runners on the corners and 2 out. Dutton now out of the ball game for Rockford.
Now batting for the Rivets. Number 10, Hunter Fiorito.
Keith Kutzler ready for the first pitch as he leans in. Fiorito still not set. Drew Dyer now down in his stance. Infield playing a little bit in on the corners. They're on the corners, the runners with 2 out. Here's the first pitch to Fiorito. Fastball is taken just below the knees. Ball 1 was over the plate but low. And a 1-ball count on Fiorito. The senior from Rockford University, native of Batavia, Illinois. Standing at 6 feet flat, 180. One of the Rockford region's best players this past collegiate season. 1 ball, no strikes, the pitch. Curveball grounded foul, third base side to the dugout. For Kenosha, 1-1. Jostin at third, Minzy at first. Fiorito the pinch hitter with 2 out. 4-0 Kenosha. Top of the 5th. Rockford looks to get something across here against Keith Kutzler for the first time today. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's high and outside. Count 2 balls and a strike. Fastball from Kutzler. His pitch count now at 59. This will be 60 coming up. He's thrown 35 strikes, 24 balls. 4 2/3, just 1 hit and no runs allowed. 2 balls, 1 strike. And now the pitch. Fastball swing and a miss inside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Fiorito. Takes a stroll around the batter's circle before a 2-2 count. Johnny Butler would be next, top of the order. Fiorito batting in the 9th spot. It is 2-2 on Hunter Fiorito, the new second baseman for the Rivets. Kutzler leans in, shakes off a couple of signs from Dyer, and now has it. First and third, 2 out, 2-2 on Fiorito. Now the pitch. Swinging a ground ball between first and second. Threw for a base hit to right field. Minzy to second base. Fiorito on at first. A pinch hit RBI single for Hunter Fiorito. Scores Tom Jostin from third. And Rockford's on the scoreboard. It's 4-1 Kenosha in the 5th inning. Fiorito just grounds one slowly the other way through the 3-4 hole for a base hit. Jostin comes home to cross the plate safely. It is 4-1 Kenosha, and Fiorito has his first hit as a Rockford Rivet and his first RBI as well. Makes it 4-1 with Johnny Butler coming up. Rockford now trails by 3. Butler now the tying run. Butler's over 2 with a pair of flyouts to center field. Left-handed batter against the righty Cutler. First pitch outside for ball one. So the caught stealing by Caleb Durbin certainly looms large in this fifth inning. Durbin cut down trying to take third base on a ball that got past Drew Dyer up the third baseline. He took a very late start on that. Bad base running by Durbin. Run scores, though, in the inning. 1-0 on Butler. Here's the pitch. Fastball is popped up beyond third base. Pena in foul ground near his bullpen. He calls everybody off and leans to make the catch, falling down right up near the sidewall, and Pena secures the baseball for the final out. But in the inning, it is 1 run on 1 hit and 2 stranded. Rockford on the board, a Hunter Fiorito RBI single to the right field side, and Rockford trails now 4-1 after 4.5. Home half of the fifth in Kenosha, Wisconsin, back at Simmons Field. Rockford on the scoreboard, a Hunter Fiorito RBI single. Scores Tom Joseph from third base, 1 run on 1 hit, and Rockford now trails 4-1. Hunter Kai back out for the fifth inning. We're facing Roberto Pena, Zachary Nagalski, and Connor Mang, 5, 6, and 7. The substitution brings Fiorito into play second base, a clean switch at the 9 spot and in the second base position for Rockford, replacing Josh Dudden. So it's 10 in for 8 in the 9 spot. And that I will write down. Roberto Pena is 1 for 2, RBI single back in the first, pop to left in the third. Pena made the catch against the sidewall to secure the final out of the last half inning. Batting right-handed versus the righty Hunter Keim. And here's the first pitch from Keim to Pena. And a changeup nicks the outside corner. That's strike one. Here's the 1-0. Swinging a foul tip to the screen.
Now back for the Kingfish.
And the count is 0-2.
Roberto Pena.
Hunter Keim, 70 pitches through 4. 4 innings, 4 runs, 4 hits, 4 strikeouts, 4 walks. Line to left field, down the line. That's a base hit for Pena. Cut off by Wilhite, gets past him for a moment. And a long turn from Pena beyond first base, but he does not go as Wilhite plays it in. And Pena's got a multi-hit game here against the Rivets in game number 1. A base hit to start out the 5th inning on the home side. Sultan Salibo is warming up for Rockford in their pen. Kenosha's got action going on as well. No one throwing, but some relievers are being stretched out. Salibo throwing to Mike Savoli, the bullpen catcher for Rockford today, the only other catcher on the roster. Here's Zachary Nagalski. Third baseman plays in as Nagalski squares to bunt and does not put it down. Throw down to second base is not in time. Hops off the runner, Pena, into right field. Cut off by Higgins, and Higgins does not throw over to third base. And just like that, Pena swipes 2 bags. Another bad throw by Mason Minzy. into second base as Nagalski squared him up but laid off a ball. And Pena was coming. Nice play call from the Kenosha staff. Results in 2 bases. It's been a rough day behind the plate for Mason Minzy. Another error on him. Moves Pena up to third. 1-0, the count on Nagalski, the pitch. Fastball grounded foul, third base side hard, out of play, 1-1. Everyone's got to play in on the infield for Rockford. Anything in the outfield scores a run. 1 ball and 1 strike on Nagalski, who has walked and flied to center. 0 for 1. Nagalski batting at .229 this season, number 50 in cream. 1-1 pitch. High and inside, 1-2. Swing and a miss. Nagalski's batting just 3 for his last 38. Over his last 12, including today. That's an .079 batting average. 16 RBIs this season. 1 ball and 2 strikes, nobody out. Runner on third against Hunter Kine. Here's the pitch. Swinging a pop up to left center field. Moving over Higgins and Wilhite, and it's a reach out and a collision in left center field. Both Higgins and Wilhite go down. Wilhite gets back up and throws the ball in. A run does score. On to third base goes Nagalski. And one of the Rockford outfielders is down. It's Matt Higgins down in center field. That's a base hit for Nagalski. Moves up to third base as Pena comes home to make it 5-1 Kenosha. But the concern is the Rockford outfielder, Matt Higgins. In left center, he is down. A trainer came immediately out, collided with Andrew Wilhite. And that's Wilhite who's down, actually, 5, not 4. Higgins is the one who got up. And Wilhite, the left fielder, is down in the left center field position. He and Wilhite both collided. Both have long hair, so it's hard to tell who's who. It is Wilhite who's down, and everyone's checking on him. Rockford's Caleb Durbin also out there, along with Jake Vanderwall from right field and Matt Higgins from left. It was Higgins who got up after the collision and picked up the ball and threw it in. And Andrew Wilhite is the man down in left center field. Ranging over from left, he and Higgins both running over for a tough ball in the left center field gap. They both collided and the ball dropped. Wilhite didn't really make any movement after he went down as well, so he was just stationary on the ground following that collision. It's a 5-1 Kingfish lead in the 5th inning. Andrew Wilhite is still being tended to. We haven't seen any signs of movement right now. Hard to see from our position. Deep in left center field, that's where Wilhite is right now. Players in suspended animation as Jake Vanderwall brings in his glove from the outfield. And we're still waiting for Wilhite to show any signs of movement. A scary scene here in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Wilhite now finally leans up. He's sitting down on the left center field grass. Boy, that was a scary scene. Wilhite, I'm sure, will come out of the game. Rockford's getting a guy ready. It might be Mike Rosengard, number 12. He's really the only other active player not in today's lineup, as Josh Dutton's been taken out of the game and Savoli's the bullpen catcher. Still tending to Wilhite. We'll take a break here. 5-1 Kenosha leading Rockford as Wilhite now finally stands up and gets to his feet. So we'll stay on. The Kenosha fans giving Wilhite a hand, as is the Rockford players. Wilhite now just being taken off the field. He's up on his own power and walking off. After he was down for a couple of minutes and everyone waiting in suspension for a Rockford's guy.
Oh, yeah. Wait, what was the... I've only got 4. Yeah.
It'll be Connor Mang to face Hunter Kime with Nagalski on third off a triple. for Kenosha. Will Light now reaching the infield dirt. So he's taking a slow walk off.
Oh, wait, no, that's where we went wrong. That's not in
He
there.
can take as much time as he wants.
They just let that ball drop. Can you touch that?
Are you ready to win some great prizes? Well, then let's see those phones.
I didn't think that he had touched it.
Nuzzle Boom text to tailgating sweet six. Just text Kingfish 78402 for your chance to win the grand prize. A Weber Grill, Nuzzle Boom's gift card.
We're the bottom of the fifth. Will Light now reaching foul ground. And a Stillman Valley native into the dugout. Adam Carey gives him a pat on the back. Zach Jones, Burnett also doing so, and Will Light's going to take a seat. As Mike Rosengard will come into the game, and Rosengard will play left field for Rockford wearing number 12. Rosengard, one of the newer Rockford Rivets as well. Rivets have made some roster changes, and now they're out of position players aside from the backup catcher in this game, Mike Savoli. So Rockford's really being worn thin right now, with two guys having to come out of the game. Josh Dutton taken out by Josh Kime, and now Will Light injured in left field.
Now batting for the Kingfish.
So number 12,
First baseman, number
Ben
37.
Rosengard comes in to play left field. Connor Mang will bat against Hunter Kime here in the fifth inning, a 5-1 Kenosha lead. Righty on righty, infield again plays in with Nagalski on third base following the RBI triple. Here's the first pitch. It's on the outside corner, no, ball one. Just missed. Mang has singled and been hit by a pitch, also scored a run, he's 1 for 1. Mang is batting 177. 1-0 pitch misses in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes from Kime to Mang. Sultan Saliba was just about ready to go. He's been throwing all half inning. Still taking some tosses. 2 balls, no strikes on Mang. And now the pitch. Slider is outside. 3 balls and no strikes.
He really hasn't been that good this year.
After everyone playing in on the infield for Rockford. Right side of the infield's on the grass, left side just on the dirt, a step back. Nagalski on third and nobody out. 5-1 Kenosha. 3-0 pitch is inside for a strike. 3 balls and 1 strike to Connor Mang, the first baseman from New Mexico. Native of Los Alamos, New Mexico, where he batted .359 this past season. 3-1 pitch on the way. Swinging a fly ball to center field. Should get the run home. Back on it, Higgins. He makes the catch. Nagalski tags from third. Higgins unleashes a throw home. He's got an arm. Throw is hopping to Minzy. Not in time. Well safe standing up on the play is Nagalski. A sac fly for Mang. And it's 6-1 Kenosha with 1 away in the 5th inning. 2 runs home in this inning, 2 runs home in the last inning, and 2 runs in the first for Kenosha. It is 6-1. Kingfish lead here in the 5th. That brings up Jake Cosgrove, but not before a new pitcher's going to come in. Josh Kime onto the mound to take the ball from his younger brother Hunter, and Sultan Saliba will face Cosgrove in the 5th with a 6-1 Kenosha lead here in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Back after this. New pitcher is Sultan Salibo. We're in the bottom of the 5th. It's 6-1 Kenosha. Base is empty and a 1 out. And the batter is Jake Cosgrove to face Salibo. It's righty on righty. Salibo the right-hander. That was numbers in just a second. First pitch to Cosgrove on the way. And a fastball is thrown to the outside corner for strike one. 86 on that fastball from Sultan Salibo. Cosgrove is 0 for 2 today with a run scored. 0-1 pitch. Fastball hopped to the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. Cosgrove struck out in the first, reached on an error back in the 4th, stole a base, and then scored. Here's a 1-1 pitch from Salibo. Swinging a tapper, third base foul, 1-2. Salibo, the commit to Lewis University for Rockford, wearing number 16. Record of 2-2, ERA of 1.17 this season. 1-2 pitch. That's up high for ball 2. Salibo made his start not long ago. It was 3 days ago against Traverse City. Went just 1 inning, allowed 3 unearned runs. Rockford lost that game 3-1. 2-2 pitch. Curveball grounded weakly to shortstop. Caleb Durbin charges in, throws his on to first, and gets the out by a step. There's 2 away. So Salibo pitched the first inning, allowed 3 unearned runs. Rockford got just 1 run later in the game, and they lost 3-1. All 4 runs in that game scored in the first inning between Rockford and Traverse City. Now the batter is Drew Dyer with 2 out in the 5th. 6-1 Kenosha. Bottom half of the inning here at Simmons Field. Game 1 of a day-night home-road doubleheader. Rockford plays Kenosha at home at 6:35. First pitch to Dyer is a ball outside. 1-0. Dyer has 2 strikeouts today, both against Hunter Kime. Bases are empty with 2 out. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Salibo. Fastball was thrown high, 2 balls and no strikes. Dyer, the catcher's hit and driven in a run in his last 4 games for Kenosha, wearing number 0. Here's an 0-2 pitch, or 2-0 pitch rather. Curveball is low, 3 balls and no strikes. Top of the order, and Boobin would be next here in the 5th. 3-0 the pitch. Fastball on the outside corner, a strike. That did not appear to be a strike. It's 3-1. A wider strike, so on 3-0. Dyer not a fan of that call. Drew Dyer, that is. I'd imagine Duffy as well. 3 balls and 1 strike. First base side from the windup here, Salibo's 3-1 pitch. Fastball, that one's outside. That's ball 4, and Dyer walks on 5 pitches. That brings up Mitchell Boobin with 2 out and 1 on.
Now batting with the Kingfish.
So Rockford defensively is out of position players. You got Ben Rosengard in left field. Hunter Fiorito coming in at second base. So they've got just, well, really 1 catcher, and that's Mike Savoli, the bullpen catcher for today's game. The only other catcher, only other position player not playing in today's game. Here's the first pitch to Boobin, outside, 1-0. So Rockford run really thin here. They've had Nick Juer play in the outfield once before. He played in left field against Traverse City in the 11-2 blowout game. Well, it was 11-2 at that point back on Saturday. Rockford lost 11-6. 1-0 pitch is fouled away to the right side. 1-1 hits the screen and rolls out of play. Boobin doubled in 2 runs back in the 4th. He is 1 for 2 on the day. Kingfish with 3 extra base hits in today's game. Rockford allowed no extra base hits against Kalamazoo in the 2-game series. Here's a 1-1 pitch to Boobin. High and outside with a fastball from Salibo, 2-0. Two balls, 1 strike in the pitch. Fastball's low and away. 3 balls and 1 strike from Salibo. Can't find the strike zone right now. Got a ground out from Cosgrove. Then Drew Dyer walked on 5 pitches. Now it's 3-1 suddenly on Mitchell Boobin with 1 on and 2 out. Dyer takes a short lead. And a ball 4 pitch to Mitchell Boobin. So back-to-back 5-pitch walks given up by Salibo. And it puts 2 on base with Brennan Hewitt coming up.
Now batting with the Kingfish.
Hewitt is 0 for 1 with 2 walks and a run scored. Walked his last time up on 5 pitches, did Hewitt. the center fielder batting lefty versus the righty Salibo, native of Spring Lake, New Jersey. Here's the first pitch. And a curveball misses away. 1 ball and no strikes from Salibo. Salibo again having trouble. 3 walks in his last start against Traverse City, went just 1 inning. He's walked 9 and struck out 8. Entering today, he's walked 2 so far in this game, 2 in a row. 1-0 pitch on the way. Swinging a foul back from Hewitt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Two on and 2 out. Bottom half of the 5th. 6-1 Kenosha over Rockford. Hewitt batting .257. 1-1 pitch. Fouled away to the screen. 1-2. Mike Jarvis waits on deck for Kenosha. One ball, 2 strikes. Salibo leans in and has the sign, the right-hander. Here's the 1-2 on the way to Hewitt. Swinging a ground ball first base side. It rolls fair and it's picked up, but that ball actually did stay fair, did it? And Jostin steps on the bag. That ball was picked up and foul ground by Jostin. But when it went over the bag, the umpire ruled it was a fair ball. And Kenosha not a fan of that. Duffy Dyer talking with the home plate umpire down the third baseline. So it is a 3U put out from Tom Jostin as that ball rolled foul, but after it crossed the bag, it was still fair. Interesting. So 2 runs come home on 2 hits for Kenosha, and they strand 2. After 5, it is 6-1 Kingfish here at Simmons Field. Six to 1 our score, top of the 6th. Andrew Wilhite out of the game, of course. So it's number 12, Ben Rosengard, to bat for him. Left-handed batter is Rosengard. We'll have his numbers in just a moment. Wearing number 12 in gray, facing Keith Kutzler. Rosengard playing left field in the 2 spot. Here's the first pitch. High and outside, 1 ball and no strikes. So Rosengard, the U-Chicago product, batting in the stead of Wilhite, who was injured in the last half inning. 1-0 pitch, fastball line to left field, down for a base hit for Ben Rosengard. So Rosengard with a base hit for Rockford. That's his first hit of the season. And a leadoff man gets aboard here in the 6th inning against Keith Kutzler. Kutzler's pitch count through 5 innings was just 63, so he's got plenty of time left to go in game 1 of this doubleheader. I'd imagine that both staffs want to keep their pitchers, the amount of pitchers used at a low number. Well, you always really do. Here's Matt Higgins now for his pitch. Swing and a miss by Higgins for strike one. A changeup thrown from Kutzler. Rosengard off first base. That's his first time on base this season, so we'll see if he opts to swipe a bag, taking a sizable lead. See if Kutzler throws back before an 0-1 to Matt Higgins. Higgins is 0 for 2. Throw back to first base and no tag put on. That was as Kutzler was halfway to coming set. He rocked a bit, then threw back to first, so he did not become completely set. Trying to catch the runner Rosengard off guard. No balls and a strike. Now Kutzler set. Here's the pitch to Higgins. Swinging a high fly ball hit to right field. Back on to Nagalski. Back near the wall. He looks up. That ball is off the bottom half of the wall. Higgins turns for second base. Nagalski plays the carom, picks it up. Around third base, Rosengard. Throw comes home from the first baseman Pena. He's safe. Connor Mang threw home, and a head-first slide by the runner Rosengard is not in time. An RBI double for Matt Higgins off the bottom half of the right center field wall. Scores Rosengard, and Rockford cut the lead to 6-2. What an athletic play by Rosengard ahead of the tag as he dove head first. It was a good relay from right field, and Mang picked it up and turned and fired one home. A first baseman playing just off to the right side of the pitcher's mound. Higgins may have thought he had a home run. The ball hit the bottom of the wall. Either way, he has an RBI double. And it's 6-2. Rockford trails by 4 in the 6th inning. And the batter is Jake Vanderwall, who's got 6 home runs this season. Vanderwall is 0 for 2 today. A ground out and a pop out. And the first pitch. Curveball well outside of Vanderwall. 1 ball and no strikes. So Higgins, with his 56th base hit of the season, leads the team. 26 RBI, second only to this man, Jake Vanderwall. 6-2 our score. Rockford with 4 hits, Kingfish with 6. 1 ball and no strikes to count on Vanderwall. And here's the pitch from Kutzler. Fastball, swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike on the outside. The balls do not fly out of Simmons Field very often. And Matt Higgins had one just die and hit the bottom of the wall. Both teams, Rockford and Kenosha, play in pitchers' parks for sure. Kenosha a bit more so. Vanderwall with a 1-1 count. Kutzler leans in for the sign. And now has it and sets letter high. Higgins at second and nobody out. 1-1 pitch. Curveball high and outside. 2 balls and a strike, about 3 feet off the plate. Catch made outside the batter's box from the right-handed side by the catcher, Drew Dyer. 2 balls and 1 strike. Aaron Mann waiting on deck. 2 balls, 1 strike to Vanderwall. Higgins on second, still nobody out. 2 hits to begin the inning for Rockford and a run across. And the 2-1 offering to Vanderwall. Fastball's fouled back to the bottom of the screen. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the count evens up on Jake Vanderwall.
I mean, come on. I'm almost there. I'm there too.
Just inside the 2-hour mark here in Kenosha, Wisconsin. We began at 12:05, right on time. 74 degrees at game time. It's been a blanket of blue overhead. I haven't not seen a cloud since I've arrived here. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Vanderwall. Left-handed batter. Kutzler sets and fires the pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him a fastball inside. And Vanderwall goes down on strikes. Couldn't catch up. And strikeout number 3 for Kutzler. His first since the 3rd inning. Just 1 away in the 6th for Aaron Mann. Mann has a 5-game hitting streak going for Rockford. Hit in every game of the homestand did Mann. Batting .220, he is 0 for 2 today. Fly to center and line to short his last time up. Higgins still waits off second base, not being held on. Righty on righty, and the first pitch to Aaron Mann is on the way. Higgins takes off. Inside, that one may have hit Mann on the helmet. He did get away from it, and Higgins takes third base. And now Andrew Girard at home plate. He whistled, or he ruled that there is a stolen base on the play, and the ball was not off Mann's helmet. He did duck down from a ball that was well inside and high. So it's a 1-ball, no strike count from Kutzler to Mann, with Higgins on third base now off the stolen bag. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike one. So Kutzler, after nearly hitting Mann in the head, goes right back with a fastball down the middle, and Mann swings and misses. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. 6-2, Kenosha over Rockford, top of the 6th. Rivets with a run in their last 2 innings. Count is 1-1 to Mann. And Kutzler throws. Fastball is popped up. Right center field. Higgins waits to tag up on it. Center fielder Hewitt under it makes the catch. Higgins does take off. Hewitt's throw home is down the third baseline, wide of Drew Dyer at home plate. Higgins in to score on a sac fly by Aaron Mann, and Rockford trims the lead to 6-3. A crooked number up here in the 6th inning. Rockford's first crooked number of the game. A sac fly by Mann. RBI number 15 for the freshman from Drury. And Rockford now has 2 runs in the inning, and they trail 6-3 here in the top of the 6th. And the batter is Caleb Durbin. Durbin making his first appearance for Rockford. He's 1 for 1 with a single and a hit batsman. Fastball high and inside to begin his at-bat, 1-0. He's been erased of the base pass both times, has Durbin. One ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch. Fastball is hot outside of the right-handed batter, 2-0. Keith Kutzler now at 77 pitches. There was action and pitcher getting warmed up in the Kenosha bullpen. Looks like their brand new guy, Riley Wickel, wearing number 2. 2-0 pitch is a fastball on the inside, black for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike on Caleb Durbin. Durbin from Wash U, St. Louis, native of Lake Forest, Illinois. Chicago suburbs product. Here's a 2-1 pitch to him. Fastball in the dirt. 3 balls, 1 strike. Nobody on base. A Higgins RBI double and a Mann RBI sac fly. 2 runs across in the inning, and it's 6-3. Rockford trails Kenosha by 3. Most productive inning for Rockford so far. 3-1 the count on Caleb Durbin from Kutzler. He winds and throws. Fastball grounded to second base. It rolls to Boomen, has it, and throws on to first, and gets his runner by a step. Durbin is out, and that retires the side. 2 runs on 2 hits, and nobody left after 5.5. It is Rockford trailing Kenosha 6-3. Bottom out of the half of the 6th, Kenosha leads Rockford 6-3. Rockford Rivets baseball here on the radio. One of quite a few road games coming up. They've got a 4-game road trip beginning tomorrow in Kokomo, then Traverse City. Rockford is home tonight for a 6:35 game between these two teams. Sultan Salibo faces Mike Jarvis to start the 6th inning. Salibo, the first Rockford reliever, got through the 5th inning after Hunter Kime allowed 2 runs to score for Kenosha. And here's the first pitch to Jarvis from Salibo. Fastball is on the outside corner, called a strike by home plate umpire Andrew Gerard. No balls, 1 strike. Game 2 will be Zach Jones for Rockford and Caleb Larson for Kenosha. A couple of Illinois natives going at it. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Jarvis. A breaking ball swing and a miss 0-2. Jarvis nearly corkscrewed there, was bending down as he got back up. No balls, 2 strikes. Jarvis has doubled and walked and struck out. He is 1 for 2. First time facing Salibo. Righty on righty, and an 0-2 count on the leadoff man, Mike Jarvis. Here's the pitch. Fastball is in the dirt, 1 ball, 2 strikes, low and away. Jarvis, Stevenson, and Pena, 3, 4, and 5. Top half of the order has been very productive for Kenosha. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Mike Jarvis on the way. Curveball line to left field, holds up for Rosengard near the line. He makes the catch, 2 hands at his chest. And there's the first out of the 6th inning. Brings up Luke Stevenson. Stevenson's got an RBI fielder's choice and a couple of pop outs to the left side, to left and to short. He is 0 for 3 with that run batted in. Stevenson batting .333. Here's the first pitch. Curveball outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Stevenson from Xavier, the freshman from Michigan. 1-0 pitch, swinging a fly ball to right field. Shallow pop for the second baseman, and it's caught by Fiorito. Both he and Vanderwall charged in. Vanderwall peeled off to the right, and Fiorito made the catch in the outfield, grass and right. He and Vanderwall communicate, say good job on communicating as they meet with one another after the catch. And there's the second out of the 6th inning. 2 up, 2 down so far. Now Roberto Pena. Kenosha's got a man warming up in their bullpen. It's a different reliever than who I saw earlier. I believe it's Nate Saprosky, the left-hander. Yes, it is. The lefty from URI. They've had 2 guys warming up in the last inning. First pitch to Roberto Pena now from Salibo. Falls right over the plate. Breaking pitch for strike 1. Pena from the University of Florida, wearing number 39. Native of Venezuela. 0-1 pitch. Outside for ball 1, a fastball. Pena bats .224. He's 2 for 3 today. The only player for either team with multiple hits today. He's got 2 singles. 1-1 is called a strike on a curveball right down the middle. 1-2 the count on Pena. Saliba 1 strike from a 1-2-3 6th inning. 6-3 Kenosha here at Simmons Field. Game 1 of a doubleheader. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Saliba to Pena on the way. Fastball swinging a fly ball to right field. Vanderwall retreats back but has plenty of room. Stops and makes the catch. And that retires the side. A 1-2-3-6 for the reliever Sultan Salibo. And Rockford heads into the 7th, trailing 6-3. Top of the 7th inning, Rockford trails Kenosha 6-3. Rivets get the bats back out with Tom Joseph, Mason Minzy, and Hunter Fiorito. Bottom 3 in the order for the Screws. Rivets with 2 in the 6th, 1 in the 5th. Kenosha scoreless in the 6th inning. A 1-2-3 from Sultan Salibo. So it's 6-3 Rockford, looking to get the momentum right back from Kenosha. They scored the last 2 runs of the game. Joseph from the left-handed side is 0 for 1 with a fielder's choice and a walk. Scored Rockford's first run of the game back in the 5th inning. So we begin the top of the 7th. 2/3 of the way through here in Kenosha, just after 2 hours past. And here's the first pitch to Tom Jostin on the way. Fastball's fouled away to the left side, out of play. No balls, 1 strike.
I've gotten you close enough. There's nothing more.
No balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Fastball line to right field. Over comes Nagalski. He leans down and makes the catch. At his left knee, Nagalski with a basket catch. As Jostin gave it a ride to shallow right field on a line drive, but Nagalski hauled it in. And there's the first out on a nicely hit ball for Tom Jostin. Brings up Mason Minzy here in the 7th inning. Minzy, the Rockford catcher, and struck out and walked. He's 0 for 1 today. Minzy batting 197. He's back under the Mendoza line today. Here's the first pitch. Fastball is lined to left side. Over comes Jarvis near the foul line. He looks up and it's over his head. Rolls to the wall. Minzy goes to second base and he strolls into a stop at second base, standing with a 1-out double that got to the left field wall over the head of the left fielder Mike Jarvis, as Minzy takes it the opposite way for a double. Extra base hit for Rockford, their second in their last 2 innings. And Minzy gets on board with his 3rd double of the season. And that brings up Hunter Fiorito. Fiorito is 1 for 2. He's been on base twice. Or check that, he's 1 for 1. Josh Dutton was 0 for 1, and he was replaced by Fiorito after 3 innings. Fiorito's 1 for 1, an RBI single back in the 5th, his first plate appearance. Right-handed batter with 1 away. And now the first pitch from Kutzler. Swing a ground ball, third base side. Steer sphere rolls right through the glove of Pena. That's through to left field. Around third base comes Minzy. He comes around to score. Fiorito goes for second base, slides in safely. The ball is off the bag. An error on the third baseman, Roberto Pena. An E5 brings home Mason Minzy. Fiorito takes 2 bags, and the score is all of a sudden 6-4 Kenosha. 3 straight for Rockford here. 1 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, and now 1 here in the 7th inning. And Fiorito on second base, and Johnny Butler comes up as the tying run. And Keith Kutzler remains in the ball game. Through 6 1/3, he has allowed 4 runs in 84 pitches, and now Duffy Dyer makes the call to the bullpen. Delays and then trots onto the pitcher's mound. Duffy Dyer makes the call for the left-hander Nate Saprosky. The Rhode Island Ram will come on. He's faced Rockford many a time this season, number 24. With Rockford's Johnny Butler coming up as the tying run, it is 6-4. Kenosha over Rockford, top of the 7th inning here at Simmons Fields. Pitching change, it's not number 24, it's number 34, Ty Jandrowski, the left-hander from Kenosha, Wisconsin, native of Northern Illinois. The senior from NIU has appeared just one time before. It was 3 days ago against Kalamazoo. Pitched 1 inning, allowed no runs on no hits, walked 2 and struck out 1. Facing Johnny Butler, Rockford trails 6-4. They've got a man on second base and Hunter Fiorito with a man already home in the inning. Here's the first pitch to Butler. It's a fastball outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Johnny Butler is 0 for 3 today. He's flat out and popped out. Butler homered yesterday for Rockford. He's got 3 RBIs this season. Highest batting average on the team at .313. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Butler. And a curveball is outside. 2 balls, no strikes from Jandrowski. Jandrowski with NIU, pitched with a 6.16 ERA as a two-way player for the Huskies in 12 games. Transferred from Madison College earlier in his career. 2 balls, no strikes on Butler. And now the pitch. Fastball is on the outside corner for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Tying run is at the plate with Butler. Ben Rosengard is on deck, and he's 1 for 1 today. Butler is hitless so far, 0 for 3. Rockford trailing by 2, top of the 7th inning with 1 away. 2 balls, 1 strike on Butler. The first man to face Ty Jandrowski. Lefty deals the pitch. Fastball's outside, 3 balls and 1 strike. Jandrowski at 6'2", 190. The tall left-hander against the equally as tall Johnny Butler. Lefty on lefty here. Jandrowski will face 5 left-handed batters. 3 balls, 1 strike. Runner takes off before the pitch. Ball's in there for a strike. Fiorito took off for third base long before the pitch was even let go, or the windup was even begun. And Fiorito takes third base. Fiorito's 1 bag away with Johnny Butler now on a 3-2 count. Here's the pitch on the way. Swinging a foul back from Butler, 3-2. Ben Rosengard is on deck, a full count with Fiorito 90 feet away. Sack fly would get him in with 1 away. It's 6-4 Kenosha, top of the 7th inning. Rockford has scored 3 unanswered runs. All charged to Keith Kutzler. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Butler. Another payoff from Jandrowski on the way. I hit him. Hit Butler near the hands, chest high. He's trotting on to first base, and the runners are on the corners for Ben Rosengard. And that puts the tying run on base, but puts the double play ball back in effect. Now Ben Rosengard, who's got a single already in his only plate appearance. He's 1 for 1. That was his first base hit of the season. That led off the 6th inning against Keith Kutzler. Numbers on Kutzler so far, 4 runs, 5 hits, and 6 1/3 innings. Not a bad start for him. In line for a win right now would be his first against Rockford this season, and just his 3rd of the year. He's 2 and 4. Here's Rosengard, lefty to face the lefty Jandrowski. 1st and 3rd, 1 away. Rockford trails by 2 in the 7th inning. Here's the first pitch. Fastball on the outside corner, a called strike. It's 0-1 on Rosengard. Freshman from the University of Chicago. Batted .303 with UChicago. 1 for 4 so far with Rockford. No balls and a strike. Jandrowski sets letter high, holds his glove out. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swinging a foul back on an off-speed pitch, 0-2. Rosengard early but stayed alive. Fouled it off to the left, and the count is no balls and 2 strikes. Matt Higgins waits on deck. Rosengard steps in. The ball's 2 strikes. Jandrowski lets it go to first base, and back standing up, Johnny Butler. Butler at first, Fiorito at 3rd with 1 out. 6-4 Kenosha, top of the 7th inning. Rockford's got the tying run on base at first. And Fiorito 90 feet away. A sac fly would be optimal here for Rockford if they can't get a base hit. 0-2 on Rosengard. Now the pitch. Swinging a foul back, just fought off to the left field side, out of play. 0-2. Andrew Wilhite injured earlier in today's game, so Rosengard in his spot. A collision with Matt Higgins in left center field. So Rockford is down to just one position player left. It's the backup catcher, Mike Savoli. They've had 2 substitutions in this game, Fiorito and Rosengard. Fiorito's on third base. Here's Rosengard at the plate with a 0-2 count. Here's the pitch from Jandrowski. Swinging a ground ball between first and second. That one is stopped by the second baseman. Boobin gets up, throws on to first. It is not in time. The run comes home with Fiorito. Safe at first base is Ben Rosengard. Runners go to first and second on an RBI single for the Rockford left fielder. And it's 6-5 all of a sudden. Rockford trails by just 1. Rosengard beats out a throw, tough into the 3-4 hole. Boobin made a great job to forehand that ball, diving down to his left on the dirt. Got up and threw to first, and just by a step, it was a tie going to the runner as Rosengard is safe. So Ben Rosengard's 2 for 2 today with an RBI, and it's 6-5. Rockford down by just 1, and now Matt Higgins. Runners on first and second, and 1 out. Here's the first pitch. Swinging a pop-up. Behind the second base bag. Center fielder calls everybody off, and Hewitt that lets it go in left center field. It drops in front of everybody. Throw to second base, gets a force on the runner Rosengard as Butler goes to third base. So the runner from first base, Rosengard, is out at second on the force as the ball dropped in left center field. Runners go to the corners now as Higgins is safe at first base on a fielder's choice. The ball was just dropped in left center field. No one got to it. As the center fielder Hewitt called for it and couldn't find the baseball in the sun, Jarvis picked it up and threw to second base. So it's a 7-4 putout to retire Rosengard at second base. Runners on the corners now for Jake Vanderwall. Rockford trails 6-5 in the 7th inning with 2 away now. Left-handed batter Vanderwall against the lefty Ty Jandrowski. Here's the first pitch, and it's going back to first base instead. Higgins is up standing. So the line on Kutzler, 5 runs, 3 of them earned on 5 hits, 3 strikeouts, 2 walks. In 6 1/3, 84 pitches is his final count. First and third against Jandrowski now for Rockford. Vanderwall waits on the first pitch. Here it comes. Swing and a miss, a breaking ball, low 0-1. Vanderwall is 0 for 3 today. He's popped out, grounded out, and struck out for the Rivets. Rockford trails 6-5 in the top of the 7th inning. Vanderwall at the plate with an 0-1 count. Higgins at first, and Butler is over at third base. Tying run 90 feet away for Rockford. They've scored 5 unanswered runs. Check that, 4 unanswered runs. They trail 6-1 entering the 6th inning. It's now 6-5. Both teams with 6 hits. Rockford 4 errors and Kenosha with 1. No balls and a strike to Vanderwall. Jandrowski comes set, letter high. 0-1 pitch. Swinging a ground ball to first base. That's wide of the bag and foul. Count goes to 0-2. Vanderwall gets another crack at it, as the first baseman, Mang, was right on that foul ball. Aaron Mann would be next. Second base is open, and an 0-2 count on Jake Vanderwall with 2 away. Jimmy Burnett now goes to the Rockford bullpen. We'll see what he's doing here. He might be getting loose. He's the only one up there. And Burnett is up to retrieve that foul ball. Okay. Some of the kids want that foul ball. Burnett tries to kick it loose from the tarp, and I don't know if he ever got it. Play will go on, though. It's an 0-2 count to Vanderwall. Here's the pitch. Runner takes off. Vanderwall lines one to center field. Back on it, Hewitt. It goes over his head. That one is down for a base hit to center field. That scores Butler. Around third base, Higgins. He's in to score. Vanderwall drives in 2 with an RBI double. The center fielder, Hewitt, was looking way back and way back. He was playing shallow in center field. The ball was over his head, may have nicked his glove, but Vanderwall with a 2 RBI double, and Rockford takes a 7-6 lead in the 7th inning. They've come back from 6-1 down and have taken a 7-6 lead. 2 RBI double for Jake Vanderwall. 32 runs batted in for him, and that's all for Ty Jandrowski. Duffy Dyer makes the call to the bullpen, and we'll see who he brings in next. Rockford scored 6 straight runs to make it 7-6 here in the 7th inning. They lead for the first time today, with stretch time coming up after this. Rockford has a 7-6 lead here in the top of the 7th inning here in Kenosha. They've scored 6 runs in a row, 2 in the 6th and 4 in the 7th inning. They have a 7-6 lead. A new pitcher for the Kingfish. It's John Anthony Caban, the junior from University of Missouri St. Louis, replacing Ty Jandrowski, who got just 1 out. Gave up the 2 runs, the tying and go-ahead runs. Jandrowski with 1/3 of an inning faced 4 batters, allowed 2 runs on 2 hits. Both runs are unearned for the moment. He has Vanderwall on second base, his responsibility. The batter is Aaron Mann. Vanderwall takes off on the first pitch. It's outside. Throw down is not in time to get Vanderwall. An outside corner strike is called on Mann. Vanderwall slides in feet first at third base, just ahead of the throw. Stolen back for Jake Vanderwall. And Rockford gets Vanderwall 90 feet away on Vanderwall's 10th stolen base. 2 down here in the 7th inning, so a sac fly doesn't really do anything here. 0-1 on Aaron Mann, who had a sac fly last time up. He's 0 for 2 with that RBI. No balls, 1 strike. Caban, the right-hander, set spelled high. Now the pitch. Fastball line to second base and caught by Boobin to his right. And that's a line out to end the inning, but Rockford puts together the tying and go-ahead runs. They score 4 in the inning, 4 runs on 3 hits, 1 error, and 1 man left. And at the stretch, Rockford 7 and Kenosha 6. Seventh inning stretch complete. Bottom half of the seventh inning. Rockford leads this thing 7-6 over Kenosha. Rivets get 4 runs in the sixth inning. 2 against the first pitcher, Keith Kutzler, and 2 against Ty Jandrowski. Zachary Nagalski leads off the seventh against Sultan Salibo. He had an RBI triple back in the fifth inning. He's 1 for 2 today. Here's the first pitch. Fastball is in the dirt, 1-0 from Salibo. It was Nagalski who hit that ball to left center field that Andrew Wilhite and Matt Higgins collided on in left center. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss, 1-1. The ball got through both of them as Wilhite may have gotten hit in the face with Higgins' glove on the play. They both collided pretty hard. Higgins got up and threw the ball in. Wilhite was down. 1-1 pitch. Curve ball, misses outside, 2-1. So the ball got away and allowed Nagalski to get 3 bases. It was ruled a triple on the play. Also drove in a run. 2 balls, 1 strike. Now the pitch. Fastball is on the inside corner, strike 2 call. That made the score 6-1, or 5-1. Kenosha made it 6-1 after that frame. Rockford has scored 6 runs since then, doing it for their fallen teammate Andrew Wilhite. 2 balls, 2 strikes from Salibo to Nagalski. Here's the wind of the pitch. Swinging a ground ball to third base, it chops wide of the line. Aaron Mann scoops it up just past the third base coach, Duffy Dyer. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Nagalski. It's Nagalski, Mang, and Cosgrove. Bottom of the 7th inning. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a foul tip held by Minzy, and down goes Nagalski for the first out of the 7th inning. Strikeout number 1 for Sultan Salibo. Salibo's done pretty well in relief for Rockford. He has gone 1 2/3 and allowed no hits. He has walked 2, but that's his only blemish. That's his first strikeout of the game. Salibo's ERA of 1.17. Just 1 run allowed this season. Had a rough start against Traverse City. Allowed 3 runs, although they weren't really his fault. It was the defense that gave up a couple of errors in the inning. First pitch to Connor Mang. Fastball fly to shallow center field. Higgins moves to his left now, circles back and makes the catch over his left shoulder. And there's the second out of the inning. Just like that, there's 2 down, and Salibo has set down 5 straight. Batter is Jake Cosgrove. Salibo had a 1-2-3 6th inning for the Rivets. That was the first 1-2-3 of the game for the Rivets defense. Batter is Jake Cosgrove. Cosgrove is 0 for 3 with a run scored. Right-handed batter Cosgrove out of UC Irvine. First pitch. Slow ball is low and outside from Salibo, 1-0. So Salibo's got the best ERA of any Rockford pitcher. 1.17 entering. It's sure to go down. 1-0 pitch. Inside 2-0. It bounced off the glove of Minzy to the right. 2 balls and no strikes. The only negative for Salibo really is the walks to strikeout ratio. It's 9 strikeouts and 11 walks so far. 2 balls and no strikes. Fastball misses inside. 3 balls and no strikes. On the batter, Cosgrove. Drew Dyer on deck. 3-0 pitch. Fastball hops ahead of the plate. That's ball 4. And Cosgrove takes a walk. That's the 3rd base on balls issued by Salibo. Does so on 4 pitches. And a 2-out base runner now brings up Drew Dyer, the catcher, with Cosgrove on first base and 2 out. Home plate umpire Andrew Gerard wipes off some dirt from the plate.
Catcher number 0, Drew Dyer.
And Dyer comes up from the right-handed side against the righty Salibo. Tying run is on base at first. Rockford leads at 7-6 over Kenosha. 2 out here in the Kingfish 7th. Salibo set, belled high. Righty fires the first pitch way inside over his head. 1 ball, no strikes as Dyer ducked down to that pitch. Drew Dyer from Chicago State. Hitless today, he's 0 for 2 with a walk. He's riding a 4-game hit and RBI streak coming in for Kenosha. He's been one of the hottest hitters for the Kingfish as of late, something we haven't said all season. One ball, no strikes. Salibo leans in from the first base side, has the sign. Here's the pitch. Fastball is well high. There's ball 2 on Dyer, and all of a sudden Salibo having trouble finding the strike zone. He's thrown more balls than strikes in 2 1/3 innings, 22 balls and 20 strikes. 42 pitches total. Rockford has Trevin Eubanks warming up. A ball leaked from the bullpen behind home plate. And time called as Mason Minzy out to talk with Sultan Salibo on the pitcher's mound. 2 balls, no strikes. 7 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors for Rockford. Check that, 4 errors for Rockford. 6 runs, 6 hits, and 2 errors for the Kenosha Kingfish. Rockford leads 7-6. We're in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Rivets have scored 6 unanswered runs after falling behind 6-1. It appeared as if it'd be same old, losing to Kenosha here at Simmons Field, but not so. Rockford's got a 7-6 lead. 2 balls, no strikes on Dyer. Cosgrove at first base with 2 out. The pitch. High again, ball 3 gets away to the backstop, and Cosgrove takes second base. Tying run moves to scoring position, and the 3-0 count now on Drew Dyer, the catcher. Top of the order, and Mitchell Boobin waiting on deck. A 3-0 count on Drew Dyer. Dyer walked his last time on 5 pitches. Salibo just walked Cosgrove on 4 pitches. I'd imagine Adam Carey's got to come out pretty soon. 3-0 the count to Dyer now. Here's the pitch. Fastball is high for ball 4, and that draws another 4-pitch walk. First and second and 2 out. And the batter is Mitchell Boobin, not before Josh Keim does come out, though. Josh Keim will call on Trevin Eubanks from the Rockford bullpen. That's all for Salibo. 2 1/3 of scoreless baseball. He allows no hits, but walks 4 men. That's the only blemish for his game. Leaves 2 on base for the new reliever, Trevin Eubanks. 7-6 Rockford, bottom 7. Eubanks coming on after this. Bottom 7, the new pitcher for Rockford is indeed Trevin Eubanks. ERA of 3.18, a whip of just under 1. 15th appearance for Eubanks. The Rockford Rivet has been there the entire season. Record of 4-0 is Eubanks, and he has been so good on the mound. Opposing batting average of 167. Comes in with 2 on and 2 out. The batter is Mitchell Boobin, the right-hander, against the righty Eubanks, the big man. From the first base side, and here's the first pitch on the way. Fastball line to right center field. That one falling fast and down for a base hit. Cut off by Vanderwall. Throw comes to third base as the run comes home to score from Cosgrove, and Kenosha ties the ball game up. The first pitch Trevin Eubanks throws is lined to right center field by Mitchell Boobin for an RBI single. The run charged to Sultan Salibo as Dyer goes to second base. Runners are on first and second, and Kenosha ties this game up at 7 here in the 7th inning. Their first run since the 5th. Hasn't been that long. Rockford has scored 6 straight before that. Now the batter is Brendan Hewitt. And Eubanks comes set again. First pitch to him. Fastball is at the knees. No, ball one, just low. Brendan Hewitt with 2 walks in the game. He's 0 for 2. Mitchell Bubin now with 2 hits and 3 RBIs in the game. The leadoff man for Kenosha in the 1 spot. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. High fastball, 1-1. Eubanks has a very hard fastball. He throws it at about 89 miles an hour. Eubanks, the graduated senior from Valdosta State, at 6'1", 245, native of the Florida Panhandle. 1 ball, 1 strike to Hewitt. Eubanks set to the lefty batter. And the righty fires the pitch. Inside, it hit him. Hit Hewitt on the right leg, right around the knee, maybe at the side of the knee, and Eubanks hits a man to load the bases here for Mike Jarvis.
Now batting for the Kingfish.
So Rockford takes the lead, and it's taken right back away from them, or at least we're tied now. Lead has been lost. 7-7 here with the 7th, each team with 7 hits as well. The batter is Jarvis, who has a double today. He's 1 for 3. 5 to left his last time out. Runners on every base with 2 out here in the 7th. Eubanks has faced 2 men and has gotten none of them out. The runner on third, Dyer, the responsibility of Sultan Salibo. Bubin at second, Hewitt at first. Here's the first pitch to Mike Jarvis. Inside, ball 1. Mike Jarvis, the guy who has 4 RBIs versus Rockford this season. 24 runs batted in this season, leads the team. And batting .316. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fastball line to the right field line. This was tailing foul, and it drops foul. A foul ball on the play by maybe 6 inches or so. First base umpire right on it, Shea Graham. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. That ball would have probably cleared the bases had it reached right field. That was a flare down the line. And everyone's got to come back. Dyer at third, Bubin at second, Hewitt at first. A 1-1 count. They've been hitting balls off Trevin Eubanks now. He's given up 1 hit and hit the other man he's faced. No place to put Mike Jarvis. 1-1 the count with 2 away. This tie game here in the 7th inning at 7-7. We're 7-7 in the 7th, each team with 7 hits. 1-1 pitch. Slow ball down the middle for strike 2. Eubanks gets the call there, and he's 1 strike away from keeping this thing tied with Luke Stevenson waiting on deck, the DH, who's been so hot recently. Jarvis already with an extra base hit today. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Eubanks. Sets letter high, and the righty fires away. Outside with a slider, 2-2. Rockford in the 8th inning. We'll have Durbin, Joseph, and Minzy. It'll be 6, 7, and 8. 2 balls and 2 strikes. All 3 runners take their leads. From the first base side, Eubanks set for the 2-2. Here it comes. Fastball is just off the outside corner for ball 3. Now Eubanks has to hit the strike zone. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Go-ahead run is 90 feet away for Kenosha, and Drew Dyer off third base. Bases are loaded with 2 out. 3-2 the count from Eubanks to Mike Jarvis. The righty comes set and deals. Inside, ball 4, and Jarvis walks with the bases loaded, and that brings home the go-ahead run for Kenosha. 8-7 Kingfish as Drew Dyer comes home to score. Rockford took the lead and gave it right back up. An RBI walk for Jarvis, and both runs charged to Sultan Salibo. Bases still loaded for Luke Stevenson, who has an RBI fielder's choice today. He's 0 for 4. Stevenson, a guy who had 2 RBIs in the series against Battle Creek. Batting .357 to lead the team. First pitch. A broken bat flare to shortstop. Behind the bag, Durbin goes to second for the force out at second base. And that retires the side, a 6-4 fielder's choice. But the Kenosha Kingfish scratch off 2 runs and grab an 8-7 lead after 7 at Simmons Field. Eighth inning now. Jacob DeLabio is the new pitcher for the Kenosha Kingfish, the 6'5" junior right-hander from Carthage College, native of Kenosha, Wisconsin, appearing for the third time this season. Has gone in 2 innings and allowed no runs, no hits, 5 strikeouts and 2 walks. So he's thrown well for the Kenosha Kingfish, playing for his hometown team. Facing Caleb Durbin, Tom Jostin, and Mason Minzy, 6 hit out of 8 batters here in the 8th inning. Kenosha leads this 8-7. Rockford took a 7-6 lead in the top half of the 7th inning. Kenosha got 2 runs back. So the lead has exchanged hands in that 7th inning. And the Kingfish have the 8-7 advantage with 2 innings to play in regulation of game number 1 at Simmons Field. Game 2 was in Rockford at 6:35 tonight. Right-handed batter, Caleb Durbin to face Jacob DeLabio. Here's the first pitch. Fastball line to left center field. Coming on and making the catch is Hewitt to his right. Outstretched glove over his right shoulder for the first out. And Durbin is retired quickly. And the batter is Tom Jostin. Kalamazoo won game 1 today, so Rockford, if they lose today, will be 3 games back of the playoff spot. And that's just to tie Kalamazoo. Growlers own the tiebreaker. So Rockford needs this win to stay within 2 games of the Growlers for that second playoff spot in the Great Lakes East playoff. Here's Tom Jostin. Jostin's 0 for 2 with a walk today and a run scored. First pitch. Fastball bounces at his foot, nearly hits him, but it bounces away from him, 1-0. Jostin lined to right his last time up. First baseman playing today out of University of Central Florida. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fastball is in on the hands and fouled back to the screen. 1 ball and 1 strike. After today, Rockford goes to Kokomo for 2 and then Traverse City for 2. They're back home on Tuesday against Battle Creek. Kingfish host Battle Creek for 2, then go to Kokomo themselves, then host Kokomo. 1 ball and 1 strike to Tom Jostin, the lefty. The righty, DeLabio, deals the pitch. And it's low with a fastball, 2-1. Top of the 8th, 1 down. Rockford trails Kenosha 8-7. 2-1 the count to Tom Jostin. DeLabio leans in and has the sign. The big man at 6'5" sets letter high. 2-1 pitch. Fastball inside to Jostin at the belt, 3-1. Mason Minzy waiting on deck. Rockford down to just 1 position player. It's their backup catcher, Mike Savoli. 2 players left the team yesterday. Blake Burrows and Nick Jouer, both due to injuries. 3-1 to Jostin. Here's the pitch. Fastball is right over the plate for a strike. 3-2. Fastball at 90 miles an hour from DeLabio. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The lanky right-hander sets. Payoff to Jostin on the way. Fastball is in there. Strike 3 call outside corner. There's, Jostin's out really hot with the home plate umpire. That ball looked to be off the corner. And Jostin turned and said something we can't repeat to him. There's the second out of the inning. First strikeout for Jacob DeLabio. And Jostin is not happy with that. He's still jawing at him from the dugout. That ball looked to be outside from my view. And Jostin's as well, but not that of Andrew Gerard, who's had a rough series. He's officiated the last 3 Rockford games. He has not made any friends. First pitch to Mason Minzy. Fastball is high and outside, ball 1. That was more on the plate than the pitch that struck out Jostin. 1 ball and no strikes. 2-man umpiring crew today. They'll officiate game 2 in Rockford as well. Shea Graham and Andrew Gerard. It was Gerard who stole a home run from Wilhite yesterday. Shea Graham, who had a couple of calls knock Rockford's way himself in the Traverse City series. 1-0 pitch is outside, 2-0. Kalamazoo series, rather, game 1. 2-0 to Mason Minzy. Minzy has doubled and walked and struck out. He's 1 for 2 with a run scored. Doubled his last time up. Begun that 7-inning rally. 2-0 to Minzy on the way. Fastball, swing and a foul tip held by the catcher Dyer. 2 balls and a strike. Rockford trails 8-7, top of the 8th. There's 2 down. Bases are empty for the switch-hitting Minzy batting left-handed in a 2-1 count. DeLabio's thrown 10 pitches, 5 balls, 5 strikes. Here's a 2-1 pitch to Minzy. Fastball's up 3-1. On deck would be Hunter Fiorito, who's got an RBI and a run scored and a single today.
Can you like clearly
The Rockford second baseman.
contestants say what they guessed?
3-1 on Minzy. Now the pitch. Fastball swing and a miss in the dirt. 3-2. And a full count now from Delabio to Minzy.
Thank you. Yeah, just like if Lauren says like they guess.
Looking elsewhere around the Northwoods League. Games going on tonight in the Great Lakes East. Kokomo was at Traverse City. Kalamazoo was at Battle Creek. And Rockford hosts Kenosha at 6:35 Central Time. 3-2 on Minzy. Delabio set, now fires the payoff. Swinging a liner to second base. Caught by Boobin at second base. A leaping catch by Mitchell Boobin to end the inning. And Delabio pitches a 1-2-3 thanks to stellar defense by the outstanding Mitchell Boobin, the Kenosha hero offensively and now defensively. Still 8-7 in the 8th inning.
Nice job, David and Morgan.
Home 8th inning. Kenosha brings up 5, 6, and 7. Pena, Nagalski, and Mang. Roberto Pena to face Trevin Eubanks, who has not allowed a run so far, but allowed the 2 runs to score in the 7th inning. The tying and go-ahead runs, both charged to Sultan Salibo, who went 2 1/3. Eubanks has gone 2/3 so far. Out there to pitch the home 8th. Facing Pena, who's got a multi-hit game. He's 2 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored. Fly to right his last time up. Kenosha with Boobin and Pena with 2 hits today. Boobin's been their best offensive player. First pitch to Pena, curveball down the inside corner for a strike. Trevin Eubanks looking to rebound after a rough 7th inning, despite allowing no hits. 0-1 is a curveball outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Check that, Eubanks did allow 1 hit, an RBI single to Mitchell Boobin, a hit batsman to Hewitt, and a walk with the bases loaded to Mike Jarvis. Got the force out at second base to Luke Stevenson, a fielder's choice, to end the 7th inning. 1-1 to Pena. Curveball is on the inside corner for a strike from Eubanks, 1-2. Eubanks looking for some professional ball job after graduating from Valdosta State. Rockford's got some good news in that department today from Dugan Darnell. 1-2 pitch to Pena. Curveball down the middle, strike 3 call, and Pena's erased for the first out. Strikeout number 2 for Eubanks, and both he and Pena knew it right away. Dugan Darnell, the graduated senior from Adrian College who appeared with Rockford 7 times this season, has signed an indie ball contract with the Gary South Shore Railcats. That news coming out today in the American Association of Independent Professional Baseball. First pitch on the way is fouled back by Zachary Nagalski, 0-1. That's the second Rockford player this season to pick up an indie ball contract. Nathan Schneiderman going to the Joliet Slammers. And now Dugan Darnell going to Gary, Indiana. 0-1 to Nagalski. Curveball is on the inside corner for a strike, 0-2. It's been all breaking pitches from Eubanks here in this 8th inning. It's worked well so far. Ahead 0-2 on Nagalski. Connor Mang waits on deck. First base side set. Letter high. 0-2 from Eubanks on the way. Fastball is just off the outside corner. Can't nip it. 1-2. Darnell appeared 7 times with an ERA of 2.64. Had 19 strikeouts, including 1 start. Was a great Rockford reliever. He could go long innings, like Trevin Eubanks. 1-2 to Nagalski, the pitch. Slider is outside. Appeal down to first. He did not go. Held back the swing, did Zach Nagalski. 2-2. Nagalski has an RBI triple to his credit back in the 5th. That was the play when Higgins and Wilhite collided. Wilhite is out of the game. 2-2 to Nagalski now, the pitch. Swing and a miss. Slider again to the outside. Eubanks kept on trying it, and he got Nagalski to bite, and he's got 3 strikeouts. And the first 2 men go down here in the 8th inning. The batter is Connor Mang. Kenosha 8, Rockford 7, bottom half of the 8th inning. Rockford's got 3 outs to play with in the 9th. They've got the bottom 3 of the order coming up, 9-1-2. First pitch to Mang, and a fastball nicks the outside corner. There's a strike from Eubanks. Fastball at 89 miles an hour, 0-1. For Rockford, it'll be Fiorito, then Butler, and Rosengard at the top. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Mang. Slider is fouled at the plate, 0-2. And Eubanks again gets ahead, looking for a 1-2-3-8 after a rough 7th, which he allowed 2 runs to score. Charge to Sultan Salibo. So far, he's given up just 1 hit. 2 strikeouts and a walk. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch to Mang. Swing and a miss. Slider outside, and Eubanks strikes out the side. 1-2-3. We go to the 9th. Rockford gets last licks, trailing 8-7 in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Ninth inning, Rockford's got 3 outs to scratch across 1 run. Hunter Fiorito to bat here in the 9th inning. To face Jacob DeLabio, looking for a 2-out save. First pitch. Fastball is off the inside corner, ball 1. DeLabio pitched the 8th inning and got Rockford down 1-2-3. A fly out, a strikeout, and a line out. Thanks to an outstanding defensive play by Mitchell Boobin to end the inning. 1-0 to Fiorito, the pitch. Fastball outside, 2-0. Fiorito has singled in a run and scored a run after reaching on an error. He's 1 for 2. The second baseman who comes in for Josh Dutton after he's picked off the base pass in the 3rd inning. 2-0 pitch. Fastball again misses inside. 3 balls and no strikes from the big 6'5" righty Jacob DeLabio, the Kenosha native. Top of the order, and Johnny Butler's on deck. See if DeLabio will walk the tying run potentially. 3-0 pitch on Fiorito. Fastball is in the dirt for ball 4. And a 4-pitch walk to Fiorito, who would be the tying run for Rockford here in the top of the 9th inning. Rockford and Kenosha. Rivets looking for their first win at Kenosha since June the 11th. They're 4-1, the Kingfish are, against Rockford here at Simmons Field. They lead 8-7 here in the 9th. And Johnny Butler is the batter, the DH now. Top of the batting order. This the 5th time through the lineup card. Butler is 0 for 3. Was hit by a pitch in the 7th and scored a run on that trip. Lefty batter and the righty DeLabio on the mound. First pitch. Strike 1. Fastball in the outside corner. Third baseman Pena was creeping in. Perhaps a potential bunt from Butler wouldn't be a bad call, but he has to get it down here with 1 strike. No balls, 1 strike to him. DeLabio sets letter high. Throws back to first base, and they've got a man in a pickle. Ball was dropped, though, by the first baseman, and Fiorito goes to second base. Fiorito caught in a pickle, but Mang dropped the baseball on the throwback from the pitcher DeLabio, so he takes on to second base. Fiorito gets a free bag, now in scoring position with nobody out, and an 0-1 count on Johnny Butler, and now he really has to bunt. See if Josh Keim tells him to put it down. 1 strike on him here. It's 0-1. Fiorito looking to go to third base. Pena is playing in right outside the grass. DeLabio comes set. Butler not showing bunt. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Curveball's outside. 1 ball, 1 strike, and Butler did not even bluff a bunt. Fiorito on second and nobody out. See if Rockford's just trying to win this thing here in the 9th. 1-1 on Butler. DeLabio leans in for the side and has it. Letter high set. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball, now a square to bunt. He went around, strike 2, throw down on a back pick, and Fiorito's back in time. Now he finally squared around a bunt, did Butler, but he completely missed the fastball. Bunted under it. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes, and now he's got to swing away. Ben Rosengard is on deck, the left fielder for Rockford today, in relief of Andrew Wilhite. We can only hope he's doing all right. I'd imagine he won't play game 2 after exiting the game due to a scary injury, a collision in left center. 1-2 on Butler now. Here's the pitch. Curveball hit to right field. Way back it goes. Nagalski back near the track. He has room, though, and makes the catch. Fiorito tags, goes to third base. The throw is unleashed and cut off at shortstop by Boobin. And Fiorito goes 90 feet away now with 1 away. So Butler gets the run across to third base. And it's up to Ben Rosengard now to bring him in. A sac fly would bring him in, and Rosengard on the day has 2 hits. 2 for 2 with an RBI and a run scored. RBI fielder's choice last time up. So can Rosengard continue that? In just his 2nd game with Rockford. He's got his first 2 hits today. Infield now comes in, all 4 men playing on the grass or just outside it for Kenosha. Rosengard, the left-handed batter, against DeLabio. 8-7 game in the 9th. Tying run at third. First pitch. Swing at a foul tip held by Dyer for strike 1. Fiorito is 90 feet away as the tying run. It's 8-7 Kenosha. Rivets scored 6 straight, but Kenosha with 2 in the bottom of the 7th has held up so far. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss at a high fastball. 0-2 on Rosengard. Matt Higgins waiting on deck for the Rivets. It's 0-2 to Rosengard with 1 out. Has to make contact and put the ball in play to the outfield to get Fiorito home. No balls and 2 strikes. DeLabio sets letter high. Here's the pitch. Fastball is inside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Good layoff from Rosengard. And that was awfully close. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, the set from DeLabio. Big 1-2 to Rosengard, the pitch. Swing and a miss, high fastball, and Rosengard goes down for the 2nd out. His head on his helmet. Head droops low as Rosengard steps back to the dugout. And the Rivets are down to their final out. That's the 2nd strikeout for DeLabio. And Matt Higgins is the man who it's left to. Higgins has an RBI double off the wall today. He scored 2 runs in the game and driven in 1. Reached on a fielder's choice last time up. The set from DeLabio against the lefty Higgins. Here's the first pitch on the way. Curveball falls outside, ball 1. Just off the plate. 1 ball and no strikes to Higgins. Jake Vanderwall would be next. It's up to Higgins now with 2 out in the 9th. Rockford trails 8-7, each team with 7 hits. Jacob DeLabio looking for a 2-inning save. Here's the 1-0 pitch on the way to Higgins. Outside with a fastball, 2-0. Just past the 3-hour mark elapsed, 3:08 right now. At 3:14 Central Time. Got going at 12:05. Game 2 coming up in just over 3 hours in Rockford at 6:35 Central. Zach Jones gets the start against Caleb Larson. 2-0 to Higgins, the pitch. Outside again with a fastball, 3-0 on Higgins. Higgins the potential go-ahead run now. If he can get on base, it would be Jake Vanderwall on deck, who's bobbing his head to some music before a 3-0 count to Matt Higgins. Vanderwall's got 2 RBIs today. Higgins got 1. 3 balls, no strikes. DeLabio set letter high for the 3-0. Here it comes. Fastball on the outside corner, a strike. 3-1 to Higgins. DeLabio now with 29 pitches. More balls than strikes in 1 2/3 of work. Higgins the final out to get. 3-1 to Higgins. Rockford trails by 1, tying run 90 feet away. Here's the pitch to Higgins. Fastball is high and outside for ball 4, and Higgins draws a walk. And all of a sudden, 2 walks in the inning have runners on the corners. And the batter is Jake Vanderwall. See if Vanderwall is going to be pitched to here. He's got a 2 RBI double in this game. Aaron Mann is on deck. Significantly worse power hitter than Vanderwall is Mann. Vanderwall has not been given a free pass here. Looks like DeLabio will pitch to him. No one's up in the Kenosha bullpen. They're all standing up supporting their teammate DeLabio, the Kenosha native, but no one's throwing. Looks like they'll pitch to Vanderwall with 2 out and runners on the corners. Rockford trails by 1. Lefty batter, first pitch. Fastball, a flare to third base. It's Serpena. It holds up, it's caught, and that retires the side and the ball game. Jake Vanderwall flies out to end the game to third base, and the Kingfish come back in the 7th inning with 2 runs to take a 8-7 victory as DeLabio gets through the 9th, allowing 2 walks. Rockford has lost their 6th straight game. Kenosha's got 2 wins in a row. They've won 5 of their last 6 and have won 5 straight against Rockford to close the season series in Kenosha, Wisconsin. In 3 hours and 11 minutes, Rockford falls in this one 8-7. They're now 6-14 in the 2nd half and 3 games under 500 and 3 games out of a playoff spot. Potentially more pending a result coming from Battle Creek today, as well as in Loves Park, Illinois. Rockford plays Kenosha at 6:35 Central back at Rivet Stadium. Zach Jones, the Rockford native, gets the start against the Wheaton, Illinois native, Caleb Larson, for the Kenosha Kingfish. Final line for Rockford, 7 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors, and for Kenosha, 8 runs, 7 hits, and 2 errors. Again, 3 hours and 11 minutes time on a Wednesday afternoon in Kenosha, Wisconsin. fans who have stuck around saw a great comeback win. Jacob Delavio gets the save in the game. John Anthony Caban gets the win, and Sultan Salibo takes the loss for the Rockford Rivets. Final score 8-7, Kenosha wins it. I will talk to you on television with Larry Larson at 6:35 Central Time.